Moss
All right.
Blackman.
All right, everybody. Okay. It's time to get down to the bottom of a conversation that's needed to be had for a very long time. Now, we've danced around it. We have dibbled and dabbled with the topic. Certain people have given their opinions. Others have felt the complete opposite way about it. But it's time to fully have an off-season conversation about spreadsheet FC, about analytics, about whether somebody's really a hooper. And if you are a hooper, what defines that? What identifies one as a hooper? But we have to start with the very beginning of why this conversation is happening. Um, Shout out to the Boston Celtics. They have two guys over there. One that is beloved around the league. He's considered one of the better talents in the league, one of the better two-way players, and for the most part is favored fairly good in the analytics department. That's Jason Tatum. Then you have another guy named Jaylen Brown. He's had a very storied career. He's been one of the better basketball players since he came on the scene. This is including high school. High school was one of the better high school players. College was one of the better college players. NBA has been one of the better players in the NBA. But the analytics hate Jaylen Brown, even so much as saying that he is, quote, and I quote, the seventh best player on his team analytically.
That's nuts.
So before we even touch on that, Chill, I want to read a series of tweets that Jaylen Brown sent out. He said, analytics nowadays are used to discredit and control narratives. Roll the ball out. None of these guys are better than me on both ends. Who does he work for? Talking about Bobby Marks, because he was the one who tweeted it, or he said it in an interview.
Bobby didn't say it, though. Bobby was repeating something that somebody told him, and Bobby made sure to say that he does not agree with that.
No doubt. So
we put that out there right from the beginning, Ops. Like, just so we clear, I did not say this, and I do not agree with this. I'm just reporting this.
Bobby was with Justin Termini and Eddie Johnson doing an interview, and he said, before he said it, he said, I heard this from an analytics guy. I do not agree with this. And then he said that.
So, once again, there are people who think that Jaylen Brown is the seventh best player on his team. Next, Jaylen Brown said, nobody has won more combined regular season and playoff games since I entered the league 10 years ago. Then he went on to tweet, analytics have and are ruining the game. We are playing AI hoops. Fellas, here we are now. Are we playing AI hoops? Have analytics or are analytics ruining the game? Swipe a Mars, Chill, Ox. I'm your favorite host, most hated host. Let's get into it, fellas.
Are analytics ruining the game? I don't know if they're ruining the game, because I think there's something to be said about the data. Like, we need the data to not just determine like what a better player is, but I think that we need the data to understand exactly why teams are playing as fast as they do, why teams are shooting the way that they do. I do think that we need the data for that. But I think that we use the data for too many things. Like, when we're talking about like ball players and what their skill set entails, like, we don't have to just completely use all the data and leave out the most important part of this, which is this person as a basketball player. Like, we can't leave that part out. Like, how good is he as a ball handler? How good is he as a jump shooter? Right? We see that with our own eyes. And I think that what analytics has given people is it's an advanced version of the box score watcher. That's what I always felt like analytics is. It's just an advanced version of the box score watcher for a guy who I'm only seeing that this guy had these many rebounds, these many points, and I'm just going off that. I'm not watching the game at all. And now I can add in, well, he had this percentage of assists, which means that he must be doing this better than this guy. He's got this percentage of their rebounds, so he must be doing this better. Well, wait a minute. Are you watching exactly what he's doing? Are you paying attention to the fact that he's getting double teamed when he rebounds, which would explain why he's not rebounding as much against this group than he does against this group? Are you paying attention to the fact that he turned the ball over against this team because they're blitzing him, not just at the not just blitzing him at the nail or at the level, but they blitzing him at half court to get the ball out of his hands. So I mean, it's stuff like that that I think that analytics has thrown off, and I think that it's bad for. I think it's bad for the game.
Chill.
Yes, sir.
It's analytics have done nothing wrong. Like I think it's irresponsible for anybody to come and just say analytics are ruining the game. I think that's very irresponsible. I look at it, Chill, in the same sense as guns. Like, it's true. Guns don't kill people.
Who kills people?
Stupid people with guns kill people. Assholes with guns kill people. Crazy people with guns kill people. You've never seen a gun sitting in a gun safe, get out of the gun safe, load itself, point itself at innocent people, and shoot people. Guns have never done that. The same way analytics have never ruined anything. Analytics have never ruined a game. Analytics have never ruined a front office. Analytics have never botched a draft pick. Analytics don't force people to run around and pass up open layups and throw the ball out. In fact, I believe Mars would tell you that that's actually opposite of what analytics want you to do anyway. They want you to take an open layup, if I'm correct. You know? My thing about it, it's not analytics. It's not stats. It's not numbers. It's basketball. It's people that don't understand what they're looking at that are ruining the basketball. So it's the same way as anybody can say, oh, well, the eye test is ruining the game. Well, not necessarily the eye test. It's just that it's people that don't understand what they're watching that can ruin the game.
Well, since you brought that up, Ox, so there's people who don't understand the game. Well, now compound that with analytics and things that are easy to understand. I mean, when I say easy to understand, Ox, I mean easy to put out. So Andre Drummond must be the best rebounder in the league. Like, I'm not really paying attention to Andre Drummond. I'm not really watching Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond pulls down 10% or 25% of his team's rebounds. So he must be fantastic as a defensive player. Now, I'm not really paying attention to him. So on top of me not really understanding what I'm watching, now I bring the data in, and it's easy to interpret the data by saying that this guy has this assist total, or this guy has these many minutes on the floor. I just compound that. So I'm not sure that analytics doesn't ruin it, but it definitely contributes to it.
Well, Chill, it's like, so there's a lot of times too, like, for instance, there's a lot of times where it's gonna match up. I've said things and Penn will call me out and say, well, you must love analytics because that's what the analytics say, is what you said. Well, no, it's just it's that there is room for everything in the game, right? There is times where analytics or the way you process the analytics is going to line up with the way you process the eye test. They're going to go together. I mean, none of them are 100% right. None of them are 100% wrong. It's just, it's the person. We have to stop blaming. We want to take blame away from people so bad. We got to go back to the days of calling people a dumbass. Like, no, you're a dumbass. It wasn't the analytics. It was you. It wasn't the eye test. It was you. You don't know what you're looking at. You don't know what you're processing. You know what I mean? Like, we got to keep it real. And we got to also understand we're giving people tools, and you have to be responsible with these tools.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? We're giving people power with these analytics, with the ability to pay for stats. There's so many places you can go and just purchase it, get behind the paywall. You have to, that comes with the responsibility. I tell Swiper all the time when he's up here lying about Jokic in the Nuggets, bro. You got a responsibility, Swiper. You can't do that. You know what I mean? It's just like you can't just read something. Just chill. It's irresponsible of us to just read something and just come out here and be like, well, the analytics say this, the analytics say that. No, that's not necessarily what it's saying. That's just a formula that was created, and now that formula spit out some numbers. That doesn't necessarily mean what you think it means all the time.
Well, we
gotta know ball at some point, Chill.
Right, and I think that but that's what I'm talking about, Ox. So there are people who do know basketball, but there are people who don't know basketball, and now add in the analytics, like to your point, will add in a gun. Well, who makes this stuff accessible to people? So I use Basketball Reference. I'm actually on Basketball Reference a lot more than I actually should be. I'm like unhealthily on Basketball Reference. Like I'm looking up notes and stuff like that. But with that being said, like I'm understanding analytics. And the reason why I'm understanding analytics is because this is part of the game now. This is how the game is being played. Like how this guy shoots at the long ball line, when he's good at the long ball line, how this guy shoots around the rim, what his percentages are around the rim. Like this stuff wasn't accessible to me 30 years ago. I just went off the fact that I'm watching Hakeem Olajuwon as a baller and I'm seeing him on the block. I'm not paying attention to the fact that, you know what? Olajuwon doesn't really pass that well out of the double team on the right block late in games. Like, and the data shows that. But I'm watching it and I'm thinking, well, I mean, he looks really good when he gets one-on-one coverage. He looks really good when he gets doubled on the left block and he gets off the ball quick. But the analytics show me something different. So now I got to start watching the game different. And I think that kind of stuff matters. If I didn't understand the game, I would completely just discount Olajuwon, just like people discount Bryant because the analytics don't love Bryant. He's a bad shot taker. He's not good in the clutch. Like, wait a minute. Have you watched him? Because a lot of the stuff that you're talking about him are just not true. It's not true at all.
Yeah, but chill. Sometimes we know. For instance, I was coaching a lot this weekend. Coached 6 games this weekend. I had to help out with one of the younger teams, chill.
Man, get Swiper out of here, yo, because like Ron, get Swiper ass out.
No. Let him suffer. Let him suffer. No, let him suffer.
I ain't doing nothing to nobody. I want.
I like the background. I
appreciate that, brother, because it's not L analytics. It's L basketball. Analytics is not the enemy here. It's the people that misuse and mistreat it. You know, chill. There's times where I need a bad shot taker. I absolutely need a bad shot taker because what sometimes I need to go with the analytics and sometimes I need to go far away from it. Like, yo, I know that this kid or this player, they're going to gun. Right now, I need somebody that's going to chuck. I need somebody that's not going to be afraid to take that big shot. You know, a Kobe Bryant type player. Like how you were saying, a lot of times those shots are bad shots. For the computer, those are bad shots for your regular everyday basketball player. But for an all-time one of the best hoopers I've ever seen,
somebody has.
I need you to shoot that shot. So that's where we have to be able to visualize. We have to be able to see salt and know it ain't sugar. You know what I'm saying? Like the numbers might say one thing, but where's the formula on that? Where are we getting this from? You know what I'm saying? And how do I utilize that? How do I utilize the analytics? The analytics are not our enemy. It's basketball and the people that don't understand what they're looking at. I seen somebody on Twitter say Josh Hart's not a hooper. I'm like, oh,
that's just not true.
oh shit. Where have I been all my life? I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, but these are just things where we all look at basketball differently. So that person might not have been wrong because they look at being a hooper as having a Kyrie Irving bag, having a James Harden step back. I'll look at a hooper as you show up when it's time to ball. You do what it takes to win. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be pretty, or it can be pretty. It's just a hooper to all of us. A competitor, extreme competitor. You know, so for me, I initially saw that and I was upset. And then I calmed down. I thought about it. I was like, well, you know what? You look at a hooper as something I don't look at a hooper as. So it's the same thing with the numbers. Show the analytics. I don't see the analytics the same way Ron does. I don't see it the same way Swiper does. I don't see it the same way Real Talk or Mars or
How do you see it? The analytics. How do you see the analytics?
I don't.
Okay, so you don't see it at all. So,
so we do see it the same way.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Well, like,
we absolutely see it the same way.
I personally don't really. I mean, I see it sometimes when it's presented to me, but I'm not seeking analytics out. I don't think I need it. You know,
that's the same thing. Let me step in right quick.
Data matters, man.
Chill. You asked me, do I see analytics?
Yes, sir.
I don't need analytics. I'm not saying analytics are wrong. I'm not saying analytics are wrong, but I know basketball so well, how it's played.
Who needs information?
Who
needs that?
No, I'm not saying I don't need information. I'm saying I can inform myself by watching what I see. And like, yeah, extra context matters on certain things. And sometimes I'll look at an analytic like, oh, that's cool. That's nice. But like if I can watch a player play, I don't need the numbers to tell me that, oh, when he is on the left wing and dribbles 4 times and gets into this spot of the floor, he's the most efficient player ever.
I do want to say, Ron, I do need analytics and stats if it's a game I didn't watch. Obviously, of course. So when I say I don't, I mean I'm not seeking it out. But if I do, if it's a game I haven't watched, I absolutely do need as much data as possible. If I can't access actual film, absolutely I do.
Because okay, I know who DeMar DeRozan is. I know who Bam Adebayo is, and if I saw the analytics tell me that he did X, Y, and Z, okay, you already know who this player is. So if you already know who he is, you can kind of get a grasp on what he did until you actually go back and watch the game. But you can get an idea of what he did, as opposed to people who are only looking at the numbers, people who are only looking at the box score, which I'm standing on. I think the analytics are an advanced version of box score watches. That's what I think it is.
But chill. And I
mean, the box score is a form of analytics.
But it's pretty simple, though. That's the difference, Mars. And
yeah, but this is why the I don't need analytics thing from like Ron is funny, because he quotes the box score more than anyone I know. And the box score.
By the way,
if I watch somebody score, if I watch somebody score 30, I watch them score 30.
If you tell me someone's averaging 30, that's analytics. Unless you're telling me you've watched every game of everyone you've ever played.
Probably not, but even
the
then,
whole Jaylen Johnson argument was 20.
Yeah, so this is why
for sure.
When we say analytics, if we're going to have the conversation, we need to at least talk about what we are talking about. Because I know when we talk analytics, I know you're not talking PRA. No one is. I understand that. But at the end of the day, definitionally, that is analytics. So when we say, are analytics ruining the game, what analytics are we talking about? Because you aren't talking about the box score.
Can we just say advanced analytics or advanced stats?
But then what are the advanced analytics? Is true shooting ruining the game?
I think you're being
Mars.
I think you're being willfully obtuse, though.
Yeah, but I'm not cool. I can understand that. What I'm trying to say, for the sake of the conversation, we need to define what analytics we are talking about. That's not me that's not me saying, haha, gotcha, these are analytics. My point is, if we are going to discuss this, let's talk about the analytics we believe are ruining the game, because no one up here believes PRA is ruining the game. That's a form of analytics. I don't think anyone up here.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I have my opinion on the box score. It's well documented, but that's not what this context of this conversation is about. So let's make sure that we are defining the analytics we are saying are ruining the game, or that we don't need. Because Ron's saying he doesn't need analytics, and then I'm pointing to an analytic he uses on the regular. Ron uses field goal percentage. That's an analytic. So which analytics are we talking about when we are trying to discuss analytics ruining the game? Are we talking about shooting? Are we talking about RAPM? Are we talking about EPM? Are we talking about tracking data? What analytics are we talking about that we say we don't need?
So let's be specific, Mark.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying what I was saying about you being like willfully obtuse. I'm not saying that what you're saying by definition is like correct, but I think the general consensus though is like the box score isn't seen as analytics. So like
I said that. Yeah.
I know, but what I'm saying is even referring to it as it's like, yeah, to me you're doing like but what is a bad? Like
it isn't though. It isn't though.
Argument.
I'm being very semantical because I feel if we're gonna have a conversation and title our show about it, we need to define what we are talking about. Yes, I know what you guys are talking about. Yes, analytics. I know you guys are talking about the advanced numbers that paint Jaylen Brown as a bad player, the regular RAP, all of that. I know what you guys are talking about. But there are also going to be people who are purposely going to misunderstand the context of this conversation. So I'm trying to say, for the sake of just making sure we are all on the same page, can we determine what analytics we are talking about when we say we don't need them?
Okay,
that's
Mars.
all I'm asking.
So let's start there, Mars. I'm not a big fan of true shooting. I think true shooting is dumb as hell. And the reason why I think true shooting is dumb as hell is because the formula to it doesn't make sense to me. Because a guy, Swiper brings up true shooting all the time. If I go 9 for 30 from the floor and I go 16 for 16 from the stripe, that increases my true shooting. That's not a good thing. Because I watched the reason why it's not a good thing is because, one, I don't think that it averages out to me being efficient. Because if I went 9 for 30, I was awful as a shooter. That means that I took a lot of bad shots. That means that I missed a lot of shots.
No, I just missed a lot of good shots.
Right. Well, if I missed a lot of good shots, you know what I also did? If I shot 30 of them, I also took a lot of bad shots too. Because there's no way that I took 30 shots and all of them were good shots. I took some bad shots and I missed some bad shots. And with that being said, I went to the free throw line a bunch of times and I went 15 for 15 from the stripe or 15 for 17 from the stripe. And it made it look like analytically I had a good night. No, I did not.
So the only thing for me with true
well,
shooting
not necessarily.
I don't. That's one that I don't think I necessarily need to know. Like true shooting for me, I don't think I necessarily need that one. I think if I could look at what you shot from the three, I see your field goals, I see your free throw percentages, I can see all three of those numbers and figure it out myself. I don't need the true shooting numbers. I want to see it broken down out on its own, right? The other thing I asked you about, Mars, before the true shooting was, if I'm going to get more for my three, I want you to lose more when you miss your three. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe I asked you about that before.
Yeah, and I said I found that interesting because statistically, analytically, missed threes lead to long rebounds, which lead to more runouts, which means that you're more likely to give up points on the other end if you miss a three. So, like, technically, missing a three is more damaging than missing a two, technically. But then there's also the case of how often do you see in the NBA people miss a layup and that leads to a three on the other end because you're now playing 5-on-4 because someone's under the rim. Now, does that mean you lose more efficiency for missing a layup? I don't know, but I understand what you're saying. But to Chill's example, if a guy goes 9 for 30, but then goes 16 for 16 from the free throw line, if all of their 9 made shots were twos, they have a 46% true shooting. That's not efficient
at all.
Yeah, so even true shooting would tell you that's not efficient. Now, if they were made all threes, then you end up with someone who was efficient because ultimately that would be 58 true shooting. But I mean, yeah, the guy made 9 threes. I mean,
stay right there, Mars. So he went 9 for 30 and he went 3 for 3 at the long ball line. That's what he ended up doing. He ended up going 3 for 3 at the long ball line. And of those 16 free throws that he made, 6 of them was at the end of the game to ice the game. Or 7 of them was at the end of the game.
It would still be 46% true shooting. That would still be an inefficient game. Like, so I don't have an issue with true shooting because ultimately, when we use points per game averages, when we use Giannis's points per game, Jokic, Shea, whoever, we don't use points minus free throws. We don't do, only when we're trying to discredit whatever player we feel like discrediting on the day. Then we'll be like, oh, these are the points per game leaders if you take out free throws. But anytime, once again, I'm going to use Ron because he's the most avid user of the points per game average, which is not a problem, but he's the most avid user. If Ron is telling us Giannis averages 31, he's not like, he actually averages 24 without free throws. Like, no one does that. So if we're going to include the free throws when we talk about people's points per game averages, in my mind, it only makes sense to include the free throws when we're talking about someone's scoring efficiency. So if all points are points, which they are, why would I not use a formula that includes all forms of points? Threes are worth more than twos. Free throws are more efficient than everything. So if we're going to acknowledge that, yeah, if I go 9 for 30, but I make 16 of my 16 free throws, that's the equivalent of making 8 field goals. That's what that is the equivalent of. If you take out my free throws and then just say I went 17 for 30, that's the exact same thing, assuming all shots are twos. That's the exact same thing.
But see, what we're doing now is, again, Mars, we're basically going off the data. This is where now watching the game comes in. So now, to your point,
yeah, sure, but I mean, mathematically, that's just factual. That's just
now it is. It 100% is. But now, when we actually watch the game and we see that, okay, you went 9 for 30, and in the third quarter, you went 0 for 6, where you couldn't get anything going. And I'm watching you. You missed a wide open 17-foot jump shot. You actually missed a wide open 3 at the break when your team was on a run. Not only did you miss a wide open 3 when your team was on a run, but of those 16 free throws, 8 of them, I said 6, I'll say 7, so which is almost half. So 7 of them came, 6 or 7, I'm sure, came in the meat and potatoes of you icing the game, right? Meanwhile, we ended up winning, but you weren't as efficient. You weren't as efficient watching the game as the numbers say that you were, because you ended up, you made 7 free throws in a row at the end of the game to ice the game. The fact that you went 0 for 6. We watched those shots that you took. They were bad shots. We watched those misses Those were bad shots. Those buckets that you ended up getting, those shots weren't in the flow of the game. A lot of that stuff, you ended up throwing your unit off. So this is where the true shooting thing gets tricky with me, which I'm not a huge fan of.
I mean, you're putting a lot of caveats in your example, though, to tilt it to it not making sense. Like, if the pure,
but keep going.
But yes, but what I'm saying is, why is it necessarily going the way that it's going to you though. That's what I'm saying. A person can go 9 for 30 and miss good shots during the game.
Sure.
He's not throwing the team off. He's missing good shots. And then he goes to the free throw line. He continues to get downhill though, right? And it's something that you like to bring up also is like, hey, maybe I've gotten 2 fouls on their starting center now in the first quarter because I'm getting to the paint regularly. That's how I'm getting to the free throw line. So now I've gotten your center off the court, right? But that's not encapsulated in your example of a 9 for 30 game. Like, I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is like the pure stat doesn't determine that. It would be watching the game. To your point.
And I think that's a legit counter, but let's stay right there. So if we are thinking about you being 9 for 30 from the floor, but the fact that you did go downhill, only except this example specifically, you didn't do that. Like, you didn't get to the rim as much. A lot of those shots that you took were bad shots. Like the free throws that you made, to your point, the free throws that you made, they were at the end of the game. Half of them were at the end of the game. Not all of them. Half of them were at the end of the game when all we had to do was just ice the game. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't mean that you can't have a good free throw night. That doesn't mean that you can't have a good long ball night. Like I just said, we have nights where, like that 9 for 30 night. Yo, in the first quarter, you made 1 3. In the fourth quarter, you made 2 of them. And you made 2 of those threes when we went on a run. When we went on a run, and that basically got us back in the game. And then somebody else did some things, better rebounding, we got some stops, and we got some timely buckets to win the game. But you, on the other hand, you at one point almost shot us out the game because of one, your shot selection, 2, the fact that you were missing open looks, because the good shots that you shot, you did make those, but you also missed some shots too you also missed some shots that were bad shots. And then when we get to the end of the game, and then when we get to the box score and it says that you went 9 for 30, you went 3 for 3 from the stripe. I mean, you went 3 for 3 at the long ball line, and you went 16 for 16 from the stripe. It looks like, he was awesome that night. Actually, like, there was some other stuff that was going on that just didn't go well. And to use true shooting as a basis for you being awesome that night, I just that doesn't align with me understanding how that works. No, because I actually watched.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, like, yeah, just because you have a good true shooting or whatnot doesn't mean that you played well. Just like you having a bad one doesn't necessarily mean that you played bad either. An example.
How's that determined?
I think that's the same with field goal percentage, but I agree.
Yeah, I mean, the one example that is used all the time up here is the Devin Booker 24 Minnesota series. If you look at his stats, he has a really good true shooting that series. If you watch the games, he struggled a lot in that series, but he had that one game explosion. We talk about sample sizes. We've had that conversation many times. So yes, having a good true shooting doesn't necessarily mean that you played well.
Not only that though, the true I think just by us saying the word true shooting, and I think honestly, there are some people. I'm sorry, real talk, no disrespect, but I think there's some people that have become true shooting snobs. You know, where you turn your nose up to field goal percentage now. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like field goal percentage, or how dare you? Like that's so 2006. You know, like you know what I'm saying? Like I think true shooting has led us to where we're I don't know, we treat the efficiency with the efficiency FC shit. It's just like everybody's efficiency isn't the same. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think we're taking efficiency a little too far. Now I'm all for efficiency. Don't get me wrong. I don't think you should waste possessions or waste shots, but all efficiency isn't created equal.
And I think it also minimizes, real talk. I think it minimizes how good actually guys are. Like true shooting and for example, analytics don't love Kobe Bryant. But if you actually sit down and watch him and watch the kind of player that he became, I mean, how could you not love his game? But if you look at the true shooting numbers, if you look at the analytics, if you look at I think he's a minus box plus minus defender. I'm like, wait a minute. I watched this guy play defense. No, he isn't a minus on defense. What are you doing? Yes, he's gotten beat and he can get his head turned when he's covering the shooter. But to say that he's just a minus, like, wait a minute. How's that work? I don't know.
Chill, that's crazy. But you know, and you know, that's a older player RIP Bean, you know, but to the present day,
yeah,
any fucking formula, any fucking number, any fucking body that tells you Jaylen Brown is the 7th best fucking player on any team, that's not a Olympic squad.
It's ridiculous.
That's what I said. That's the Team USA.
Yeah, if especially and even I even got some questions about that. but I'm just gonna keep it just any team, any 30 teams in the NBA, any number, any body, any formula, any stat that tells you he's not a top 3 player on that team, we don't need it. Get it out of here.
Mars, could you could understand if I was to say this is the reason why I don't like analytics because of things like this?
Yeah.
Like specifically because of stuff like this. Like it's almost like when you go and filter something out and you filter it down to the most bottom line thing, and I'm doing this just to paint a narrative against this guy. That's how I feel like analytics gets used. This isn't everybody, this isn't every analytic, but for the most part, you're either using an advanced analytic to push an agenda to boost a guy up, or in this case, you're using an analytic to drag a guy down. That was just such an unnecessary pull. Whatever pull it was.
Octa's side of it, then it's not the analytic itself isn't the problem, more so than the people using it to push whatever agenda they want is the issue, which I agree with. But then, are you guys in favor of analytics control?
I don't even know what that means, to be honest.
Yeah,
like gun control.
I know what Miles is talking about. Like we make it more difficult for you to access analytics. That's essentially.
Yeah, like we have to do a background check to see who has access to analytics. Is that what we have to do?
Because not everybody should be talking.
I told y'all before. Didn't I tell y'all before that this shit should be so expensive?
Yeah, but you're saying put it behind the paywall. Then you're just saying, okay, well, rich people can use it. They can just push their agenda because they're rich.
Yeah.
I'm saying, do we need to do an actual background check on people before they have access to advanced analytics? And by advanced analytics, we're talking about the all-in-one one-number metrics that rank players. So the RAPM, I believe, is the analytics that ranks Jaylen Brown number 7 on the Celtics. I think that's the analytics, I think. But is that what you're saying? We need analytics control?
Absolutely, 100%. But this is the problem now, and this is the problem, because I'm not going to go too far to this side, because I don't believe that you have to be, because with, on the internet for the past all weekend, it's been going crazy. You got ex-NBA players, you got ex-athletes that are just, I'm talking about, that are just bashing guys that weren't good at basketball. I think that's wrong. Obviously, I'm just okay, bro, we're going a little too far, but there's a little. We need common ground. You know what I'm saying? We need some type of balance. You know what I mean? Like the guys that weren't very athletically inclined or basketball inclined, they'll find numbers and be like, oh well, you're just not smart enough. You don't understand. And then there's the basketball players that are just like, oh well, you can't make a left hand layup, so you don't know what you're talking about. We got to find some middle balance. You know what I'm saying? So Mars, I would suggest we have a test that, there's a written test.
Like a driver's test.
There's a written test, there's a multiple choice test, and there's a get out there and shoot a couple jump shots test. You know what I'm saying?
So you got the written and the practical, and you got to be able to do both.
Absolutely. And you know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to balance it out. I you know what I mean? I don't know. There's got to be something we could do to where we don't have to hear this type of shit anymore. This weekend, I can't survive another weekend like this one. This was too much for me.
Yeah, this was a wild weekend on Twitter for sure. Like I said, it was all kicked off by the series of Jaylen Brown tweets after he was alleged to be the 7th best player on his team with what was the analytic, Morris?
I believe it's RAPM. I may be wrong, but I believe it's RAPM.
What is RAPM? For those of us who
regularized, adjusted plus minus.
Like, what the hell is that? What is that?
I think.
What does that even mean?
Hey, there you go, right there, Zigsaw. You have to take courses. I think you should have to take courses. You should have to get a certificate to be able to access this information. You should have to do a I don't know, an 8-week course, a 10-week course or something, and then you can access the information.
So are we treating analytics now like it's a car? Like you got to be licensed to drive this? Is that what we're
yes,
doing?
because it affects people. Chill. There's guys that have big voices in this space. You know what I'm saying? And people, there's some, a lot of people don't have time to watch basketball all week. You know what I mean? So they have to listen to these people and get their information from them. I think it's a big responsibility. You know what I mean? But really, back to Jaylen Brown though, y'all. I think, first of all, if you're upset because your team was considering trading you for Giannis Antetokounmpo, then you got to get over yourself, bro. It's Giannis. All right, it's Giannis.
Get over it.
To the outside people looking in, I think that
what that means.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, it doesn't matter who you are in this world.
But
we
know that there are other teams in the league that wanted to trade for Giannis and has some non-negotiable players on their team, even past the best player. Like Minnesota was not throwing Jaden McDaniels in a trade for Giannis. And so
what do you say?
If Jaylen knows that that's happening in Minnesota for Jaden McDaniels, and respectfully, he probably thinks
real talk, those
Galaxy's better player than Jaden McDaniels.
Right, but
real talk, those are separate teams though. It's two different scenarios. Like Boston can afford to trade for Giannis and still be competitive and give up Jaylen Brown. Whereas Minnesota, if they trade for Giannis and they give up Jaden McDaniels in that package,
I'm not saying whether
they're still
I'm not saying whether
it's
I'm not saying whether it's rational or not. That's not even the point. Is I don't even know how we can look at a player and be like, man, you shouldn't be upset that so-and-so is trying to trade you, a team that you've been on your whole career.
Well,
you just had a career season.
I wasn't saying that. I was more so just saying like, okay, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel you though. Like what I think. So I don't agree with Patrick Beverley, right? Like we're not trading Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? That's not happening.
Absolutely.
But
why not?
Because if I was running things in Boston, obviously I wouldn't be looking at trading either one of them dudes.
Which
like
I can,
Jason, you're off the Jaylen, you are off the table. Jason is. Don't call me about Jason Tatum, bro. Like don't ever ask me about trading Jason Tatum. And you're not getting Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, if I had to, look, that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. I'm not trading either one of these dudes, right? But I also understand, like, if somebody's asking for, if we're talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'm kind of like, hey, yeah, that's what's up. I could be in these trade conversations. But I understand what you're saying, though, real talk. He had a hell of a season this year. He has every right to feel however he wants to feel. But all I'm saying is life goes on. You know what I'm saying? He's in Miami now. And it's over with. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, I'm just saying my opinion is, Jaylen, let that shit go. You know what I'm saying? And just move on. But with all this analytic stuff going on, I think what I was getting to was I think people are starting to mix these conversations. Where I honestly don't think Jaylen Brown is so upset about the Giannis situation as he is all of this bashing him. And y'all, man, we can all be real. Jaylen Brown has been getting the shit end of the stick since 2021 from just the outside, the media. He has been treated like a redheaded stepchild, even though he was the best player on that 22 run. You know what I mean? And he's got an Eastern Conference Finals MVP, a Finals MVP. And I'm not saying he's better than Jason Tatum. I don't want to get in that conversation. But what I'm saying is it's always Jaylen Brown. It's all the Olympic thing, the Nike thing. It's always Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? So I think he should be upset about that.
You think?
Real quick, I just want to hone in on the thing that I think we're mixing these conversations a little bit. I think this has less to do with getting traded for Giannis and more to do with, the analytic stuff and them saying he's the 7th best player on the team. I think this is more what it's about as opposed to the getting traded for Giannis thing.
Yeah.
He's acting like a crybaby though. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I hear what you're saying, and really to bring it back to like the subject of the analytics. Like I don't think there's really one particular stat that people necessarily have like this extreme problem with, but it's it's probably the threshold of which we value analytics. And how much do you let that drive your opinion about the game of basketball and what you're watching? That's really the conversation. It's not a particular stat. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, sure, there's a stat that says Jaylen Brown is the 7th best player on the Celtics. That's a ridiculous stat, right? That's kind of seen as absolutely crazy. But there's also other stat people, like they came to a conclusion after this season that Derek White was a better player than Jaylen Brown. And so that is seen as more reasonable. But again, it's like, to what extent are you going to allow analytics for you to get to that conclusion? Because that's how you get there, from statting your way there, not watching the game, but you stat your way to convince you that Derek White is a better player than Jaylen Brown.
That dude. What point are you going to turn the TV on? Real talk.
We got to get to that
at some point. You got to turn the TV.
You got to get there. And for the record, real talk. What's dude name? I want to make sure I get his name right. Is it Mahar Shala Ali? Is that his name?
The actor.
Yeah. So for the record, real talk. Just
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali,
from the one from Green Book.
Yeah, the one from Green Book, and he was with and he was also with
What about him though?
Well, real talk. Just because he don't want to go out with Nia Long, that don't deflate my value. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. Just because he don't want to go out with her, I'm still the man. And the fact that I'm getting traded for Giannis, I mean, I think that's a big deal. I think it should be viewed as a big deal. Like this, like I've said to you guys before, the stuff in the past was just sitting at the bar, sipping some cognac, just yapping. Ain't nothing really going on. Nothing. The stuff with Giannis that came up, this was a real thing. And for the most part, it was Giannis. So we have to entertain it. It was Giannis. So I'm not lessening that, but you can't analytically and with legit logic give me 7 players on that Boston Celtic unit alone, 6 players on that Boston Celtic unit better than him. You can't do it.
And if whatever analytic you use to get down to that conclusion, I just don't trust it personally. I do want to say this, like, I don't think there should be analytics control. And even if there was, there ain't no way to possibly make that happen. Mm-hmm. Use whatever analytic you want to in order to, see the game the way that you feel you need to see the game. My thing is, the reason why I said, me personally, I don't really lean on analytics or I don't need analytics is because regardless of what an analytic tells me, an analytic can tell me that this player is the most efficient player in the league, or an analytic can tell me that this player sucks or that this player is one of the best all-time scorers. Either way it goes, I got to go watch that player play basketball to determine exactly how I feel about him. An analytic can be highly favorable for somebody, but if I don't watch the game to come to my own conclusion, then I'm just letting somebody else's work or research tell me who this player is. So, like, I'll listen to the analytics. I'll let you guys bring them up. I'll let you guys bring them up, but I watch the games to form my own conclusion, and I'll tell you that analytic is bullshit. But if it matches how I see the player, I'll be like, okay, that analytic might be valid in that moment in time.
That's what we all do. I mean,
no, not us. We do it up here.
Ron, I want to say
and part of the reason that we do it up here though is because you have to come up here and defend your take. You have to come up here and talk about what you say. And if I don't do that, and if I can't tell you exactly what happened and why I feel this way, Swiper gonna fry me. Mars gonna fry me. Chill gonna fry me. And they're not gonna do it individually. They're gonna do it at the same time. So we have to do it. But it's a lot of people who will go watch, and I'm just using Bobby Marks' name because he's in the middle of this. They'll go read a Bobby Marks tweet about, I don't know, Tyler Hero and come to a conclusion that, man, Tyler Hero is, a top 5 shooting guard in the league. And it's just like, what do your analytics say?
I fuck with Tyler Hero, y'all know. So I think me and Swap are the only ones that are really high on Tyler Hero, but whatever.
But see,
wait, wrong. We got to. Can we just leave Bobby Marks' name out of this because he is really getting like
he's catching strays for something someone
he
told
didn't do
him that
anything.
he
All he did was report the news.
So we're killing the messenger.
Yes, Bobby just reported the news, bro. He really, I listened to it. He was up there, like I said.
I actually kind of like Bobby Marks for what it's worth.
I don't know if either way. But he was up there. It was an interview with Eddie Johnson and Termini, and he once again he in that interview he said, "I do not believe this." He said this is insanity, but I heard from one of the analytic guys. Like Bobby Marks did not say this to everybody watching. Bobby Marks does not think Jaylen Brown is one of the seventh best player on the team. Bobby Marks did not say that, and he does not think that. He was just reporting the news.
Shout out to Justin Termini though. He has me blocked on Twitter. I don't know what I did to him, but shout out to Justin Termini. Found out the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Mars, it must be something about your account because somehow you keep getting blocked by people.
Yeah, I mean,
or maybe the fact that you're frying people logic, Mars, and I'd like to keep my logic. How about that?
I don't really do that.
How about that? How about I got an opinion about
people
something?
probably just see my tweets on the timeline, like, yeah, I want to see more of his tweets. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Like, I actually think I know what I'm talking about. Here come this fucking dude who just completely just ripping up my logic. Like I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. So, but real talk, it sounded to me like Bobby Marks was with Frank Lucas. And he got roped up, and now we putting all the charges on Bobby Marks. That's what it sounds like.
Well, that's
what it sounds like.
Never mind.
Like he sound like he got roped up. Sound like he got roped up, and now he in some stuff that he didn't.
Wrong place, wrong time.
That's what it sounds like, Ox. He might not. We ain't gonna put. Okay, Ox. Let me rephrase that. We ain't gonna put all the charges on him, but he definitely got roped up. He in it.
You should have kept his ass from around him though. You know what's going on. You know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
What you doing with him? You know, you ought to know better.
But Ron actually did like take my next point. Like shows like this are why analytics like are relevant. By the way, like we actively contribute to the use or the need of analytics.
Mars, didn't I tell y'all we was ruining basketball? remember Chill got mad at me that day. Go ahead.
Anything that brings debate culture, like you're gonna have to have points to support your argument, and then so that's the need for stats. But I'm with Ron though. Like really, for me, I'm an eye test person, to be honest with you. And then I use analytics because I know that's like how the game is talked now. And so you have to stay like relevant with the times. But like, I know what I was watching. See, I don't want to get it. But like, I know what I was watching with Nikola Jokic. I didn't really need some stats. I knew he was
what?
You know, he was really good, but not what they was trying to make him to be. You know what I'm saying? Shea is great. You know what I'm saying? But respectfully, I've watched Dwayne Wade, and I think Dwayne Wade at his best is better than Shea. But then you get the question is that Ox, they'll hit you with a, well, what do you have to support that? And it's like,
the game.
I watched both of these players play, and I think one of them is better than the other. It's truly my answer 99% of the time.
That's what it was like a long time
I have
ago,
to say something.
Now, Ron, is it fair?
I keep trying to tell Real Talk, he doesn't need to engage in debate every 2 seconds. Just say, I watch the games. That's what I do. And then people going to get mad at you for not wanting to argue. Like, not everything needs to be a Twitter argument. Sometimes you can say, I watched the game, I formed this opinion. If you disagree, you disagree. Like, we don't need to argue every difference of opinion. We can just disagree. Like,
you're right about that.
Fine.
You're right about that on Twitter, Mars. But up here, it's the same thing. I remember when I was first getting into it up here, and I would just be like, yeah, well, I think this. And then they'd be like, the chat would be like, oh, well, this is a debate show. You got to go back. I was like, well, I didn't know this was a debate show before I got here. I thought we were just here to talk hoops. I didn't know I had to defend every single thing I said.
Yep.
And then Chill told me, well, because you said so isn't good enough. And I was like, well, I watched the game.
Good enough. I do it all the time. I watch the basketball everything I believe. I don't argue everything I believe. If I believe something, sometimes I feel like backing up my point. More often than not, I end up my methodology of debating most of the time is just disproving other people's opinion more so than proving my own. Like if someone says, for whatever reason, Andre Drummond can make jump shots. If they just say that, I'll just go look up Andre Drummond jump shot percentage. I'll be like, oh, he actually shoots 4%. so he can make jump shots.
4% is crazy.
Yeah, like so what? Like that's like my. I'm not out here like just speaking for myself once again. I'm not out here like, oh, I think this guy's better because insert XXX analytic. But if someone says something and then the reasoning for why they think a player is better, and then it turns out their reasoning isn't substantiated by like facts,
the data,
and by the data, I always say the analytics I like are the tracking analytics, the stuff that tells you, okay, this guy shoots X from mid range, X at the rim, X from the corner, like, or like this guy. When we talk about like the playmaking stuff, like the assists they get at the rim versus threes versus like those type of stuff, I find valuable because first of all, those are the only analytics that are 1000% objective. When 99.8% objective, because I've seen some assists that are a bit fugazi, so I can be like, cool. But for the most part, objective. Those are like, this is a recollection of events. So therefore, this guy does this. That's facts. The all-in-one metrics that people start quoting, those are not facts. Those are a formula that someone made up or a group of people made up and derived that was the equivalent of impact. That is not factual. You just use their opinion of impact and now tagged along on it and said, oh, this is objectively how impactful someone is. That's just not the case. It's the same thing for like, well, this is why I found what Ron said about he watches the games to form his opinion funny, because Ron loves accolades. That's the same thing. Like the all-in-one metrics that people, oh, these guys, EPM, like, oh, look at this ranking. Oh, these are the best players in the league. It's the same shit as like
accolades are objective too.
They're the best players. It's the same thing, just one's using accolades, one's using all-in-one metrics. I don't use either one of them because at the end of the day, those are going to be opinion-based. But like the actual objective reality of tracking data, like those are, I think, the analytics that have value. And I think NBA teams use those analytics because at the end of the day, you want to know where your players are effective from, what plays they're effective when you run them for them. Like that's what you want to know when you're coaching a team or when you're watching a team. But do you care, like, if you're a coach, or should you care if you're a fan about someone's augmented plus minus? Why?
Like, would it be? Well,
so yo, chill, right quick. There's a guy up here who he's on his no shot gimmick. We all know what that means. He's on that gimmick right now. And Swiper, we need you to contribute to this conversation because I feel like you have something valuable to give us.
With that being said, too, though, Ron, just because he sat up here stitch slip for 50 minutes, don't mean we just gonna sit here and let him talk for the next 2 hours. He not gonna be able to do that gimmick because we went through that a couple years ago. Oh, I let y'all talk for 50 minutes, so now I get the no, damn that. You should have get in where you fit in.
Swiper, do you have anything valuable to contribute to this conversation?
Nope. Shout out to Chris Johnson. That was obviously a big news that hit the wire today. Yeah,
damn, I woke up to that. That was
crazy.
Chris Johnson.
Knowing about he's a running back that went to East Carolina and then played for the Tennessee Titans in the Arizona.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, he got diagnosed with ALS last year, and so he's like completely physically debilitated right now. And so it's crazy. You know, he's 39 years old, so he is.
That was Stephen Hawking had?
I don't remember.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember. He's only 3 years older than me though, so. You know, I've known about him since 2006 when he was at East Carolina. So it's been 20 years, man. It's just crazy to kind of see what happens to people and all that kind of stuff. It's just nuts, but obviously just praying for his family and everything. But I've already told y'all how I feel about this. You know, football, we've been using analytics since I was in high school, which is just tracking like probability, you know, what tendencies, things people are more than likely going to do. So I've always had a positive relationship with it. I think people can misuse it just like they can misuse anything else. As y'all know, I use analytics in my research in my real life job all the time with, you know, data and tracking, you know, economics, criminal, race, up here, whatever. So no, I mean,
don't you think that's a little different though? For three things, real life is different from sports.
Yeah.
So like that's different. Like whatever field you're in, that's not the same field as sports. Also, all sports aren't the same. Football analytics are different from basketball analytics. And furthermore, you said to track people's tendencies and stuff like that. I have that kind of just sounds like watching film to me, but I have no problem with using analytics to track tendencies. This is where a player likes to score the most. Likes to score the most. This is where this team runs this play this many times and certain things like that. Like tracking tendencies and scouting, that's completely different than using a number to try to push an agenda.
No, but I think the issue is we get so convoluted in like analytics is a broad term for math and like formulas. So some of this is you don't like the formulas that say based on this outcome from these metrics, this player is better than others. And I think, for instance, somebody in the chat said the Kinch and Seek analytic. Andy Bailey, when he did that, he just simply said, here are all of the singular tracking things you can find and singular, EPM, PER, BPM, all these things. I'm going to put it all in a sheet together, and this is what they all say together. So when you put all of them together, this is how it's ranking the 500 players in the sport. And so people didn't like that term, obviously, because of what the terminology seems to imply. Again, I told Ox early on when I first met him that I think more people that are not a part of the field need to learn analytics because that is what people get paid to do. If you want to make money in the front office, you need to know these things. And, I've talked to coaches about this. I'm sure you all do. Talk to front office people about this. I know they use these things, but it's just some things have more value than others. It's not like, and some agents do it. They'll go to meetings with like a GM and like, here's Data Baller and here's what Data Baller has to say about, self-creation percentage and, whatever else it might be. That stuff does happen. But in large part, I think the reason why I tend to like players like, Chris Dunn's or the Kills or Atega Always, like that stuff is like, those aren't good performing analytics players, but based on like skill projection and based on like height and, they're all these other things. And like, there are things they do that perform really well, but they're not going to show up at analytical darlings. I think some players are hurt by the environment they are analytically, so they get undervalued, across certain conversations. I think some players are in very good situations, and like JB, and I know Real Talk and Mars and I and some others have talked about this. JB, relative to the team he's on, he's underperforming a lot of these analytics. Now, there's reasons why, even if you believe that the math is flawed. So, I mean, it just depends. I don't think anything in life should ever be because this says this, I believe this. I think you should always try to hold in concert everything that's available to you. And to your point about paywall, Synergy costs a lot of money. Like, I pay for Synergy. I have Synergy. But I have Synergy because I work with the network. But that Synergy package is like $20,000. So you just think that like,
Real Talk thought it was a couple hundred.
No, it's a lot of money, dog. Yeah, it's a lot of money. And that's the thing. But in Second Spectrum is even more. I'm not even like that number is insane. But teams pay for this stuff. So, like I said, it's access is always going to be an issue when it comes to education. But as you all know, I'm not anti like information. I think everything is about how you use it. So,
and
it's
that's what I was trying to say earlier, Swipe. I just don't think that the numbers are the issue. I think it's the people. But Swipe, my first kind of experience with more analytics was when I went to play in Australia, and I had a coach over there that was, I mean, he was a genius if you ask me. You know what I mean? And he would look and see where we were all. Our better field goal percentages on the court, and he would run sets that were the end of the set, each of us would be in an advantageous spot for us. You know what I'm saying? He would do that quite often. You know what I'm saying? Get me over at the nail or on the left block and have our best shooters here. And it was just, I was like, okay, I like how you're looking at this. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. I think for me, the issue I have with a lot of the analytics and the way things are going now is because I coach high school and youth basketball. I don't have aspirations to get into the pro level of things. I want to coach like at a mid-major D1, you know what I'm saying? I want to coach even junior college basketball. That's where I want to. I don't have any aspirations to ever be in the front office of an NBA team or on an NBA coaching staff. That's not where I want to be. And I do feel like at this high school and youth level, for me, I think it's starting to get too oversaturated to where we're not being able to teach kids how to thrive in all systems. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to coach so many different ways, and I need these high school kids, these youth kids to be able to adapt to that and be able to do all sorts of things where it's not just, oh well, we're not looking for this shot because the analytics say this, or I only want you over here, I only want you over here. Like, nah, I want you to be able to be comfortable everywhere on the basketball floor.
Oh,
damn, what happened to Ox?
we lost him. I don't know what happened.
Oh, well, he'll reboot his internet or pay his bill, and then he'll come back and tell us the rest of his story. But until Ox gets back up here, let's talk about a good place called Splash Sports. Here's one thing about the analytics or the PRA or whatever numbers you want to use. I can tell you this. They might not favor you in your everyday life. But on Splash Sports, these advanced analytics, in fact, will favor you if you use the numbers correctly. And, the thing about Splash Sports is they simply give you a couple stats, points, rebounds, assists, PRA, more, less, and then, you cash out and win money. This is why this is the best place if you do like analytics or don't like analytics to be. Now, how you can get involved with Splash Sports, it's real simple. You download the app, and you can do that by scanning the QR code on the screen or simply just clicking the link in the bio. You use code CHOICE, and when you do that, you will have access to a whole bunch of value, such as 100% deposit matches up to $50, such as 100% quick picks boost, such as the highest multipliers in all of DFS. It doesn't really get too much better than Splash Sports. If you know what you're watching or if you know the analytics, this is the place where you can get a whole lot of splash cash in your bank account. So once again, download the app, get access to the highest multipliers in the game, and play quick picks like we're about to do right here live on the show. Feast your eye on the screen. Let's go ahead and run it up today, fellas. We got some good hoops, WNBA hoops. So let's make some WNBA picks.
Okay, cool. My Wi-Fi's back working, yo.
Y'all saw Olivia game
Yeah.
yesterday?
Yes, real talk. We saw Olivia Miles play, real talk.
I'm just
She was
making
balling,
sure we
like-
all.
She was balling like normal.
Nah, yeah, Olivia Cole for real.
Did y'all see Jackie last night?
Yes, Big Ox. We seen Jackie.
She was cool.
Y'all seen
28?
Asia?
It was cool. Yeah,
Y'all seen Carl?
I'm not gonna lie, Asia is going. She going crazy this year. I ain't gonna lie.
This
like
ain't
that.
nothing,
Like,
man. This is
nah.
light.
Nah. This ain't. Don't even do that. Asia is hooping right now. Shout out for real.
Okay.
going crazy.
So what we want to do, y'all? What's the move?
I'll take the more Sabrina.
Is Vegas, New York the only game today?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's the only game we got on here.
Okay. Hey, the more Sabrina, I like that.
Yeah, on her PRA. Sabrina, she kind of been since coming off the injury. She been a little slow, but she gonna see red today. She gonna look across and see the aces, and she gonna get that look in her eyes.
She better sit her ass down somewhere.
She gonna sit somebody down.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually going.
Did y'all see that game against? See, I wasn't up here last week, but I wish I would have talked about that Vegas LA game last week. I mean, not Vegas, that New York LA game. Oh, that was a crazy game. Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
I'm actually going. I'm gonna go less on Asia Wilson points tonight.
No, you're not.
6.5.
I'm not taking that. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
Choose something else for a talk.
Now, when that hit, don't be okay.
Good morning.
What you got, Chill? What you got?
Good morning, Mr. Ox. I was wondering if I could have a tall glass of Satu this morning, please. Thank you very much.
She not on here.
No Satu.
Yeah, I think she out right now.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I know she didn't play last game.
Well, I'll have a tall glass of Stewie, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I love that. I love that PRA. That 30 and a half. Yes, I'll take a tall glass of that. Thank you very much.
Not real talk. Really want that? Because I guess so.
Yeah. Nah. The the Liberty front court got real size to him. I do think she kind of struggled with that.
Hey, no name. Do yourself a favor, yo. Go get a life. Go do something with yourself.
Oh wow.
Because you can't see me. All you come up.
Chill. I'll let you get back to that in a second. Just take the lesson on Jewel Lloyd's threes, and then we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Splash Sports is the best place if you want to really get some money based on the numbers, based on the analytics. Splash Sports is where it's at. You pick a player, you pick their projected stat line, and you go more or less. Scan this QR code on the screen. Make sure to use code CHOICE because that will give you 100% quick picks boost. Plus, 100% deposit match up to $50. We'll see y'all in the winner's circle. See y'all tomorrow, same place, same time in the Splash Sports Arena. All right, y'all.
How did we do this year, by the way? Like, did you trick most of the bag this year? Because I think you did.
You got to ask Ox. It's Ox's account. It's a reason why Ox only got $3 in his account.
Oh, man, that was me. You're right.
Let me see. Y'all look up in the top right corner. What you got? What do you got? Yeah. All right, never mind. Tomorrow we'll check it out. Stay tuned tomorrow.
That's because I cashed out right before the playoffs.
Got it.
If y'all want y'all share, come get it. But anyways, no. Look, but the Liberty when they're playing against the Sparks, right? I'm telling you, they had John Quayle, Satu, Phoebus, Stewie. And what's the name? Astier on the court all together, and then sometimes they would take Astier out and put either Maureen Johansson in or Sabrina. So that's them. They have a lineup of 6'3", 6'4", 6'4", 6'7". John Quell 6'7", 6'6", and then Sabrina or whatever guard they had. They had Stewie out there running the 1, Satu running the 3. Phoebus and Satu both running the 3-4, 2-3, whatever, and then John Quell's out there smacking threes. But then, y'all know what happens. The GOAT, well, not the GOAT, but one of the GOATs, Nneka Ogwumike, had to put him to sleep. But I'm telling you, that lineup was huge, though. I was watching that third quarter like, this is crazy. They were huge out there. But,
all right, y'all, to everybody in the chat, we obviously spent the whole first hour talking about analytics, whether it's ruining the game, whether it's helping the game. We all have mixed feelings about it, but we had a solid conversation, I believe. We are going to continue that conversation. I got some people from the chat. They're going to come up here and give us their 2 cents on analytics and how that feels. We'll get around to that. Obviously, we're going to have super chats that are going to talk about analytics too. But I also want you guys to keep in mind, we're going to talk about this Miles Bridges trade that just happened over the weekend. We're going to talk about the smoke and the rumors about LeBron and Anthony Davis teaming back up and they may be coming out west to California. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about Kawhi Leonard maybe heading back up north. We'll get into that. And a certain guy who used to be a good 3-point shooter in the NBA, he might be playing for another league. And that league is behind walls, behind the gates. We'll talk about Malik Beasley and the fact that he has been indicted. So we'll get into all of that good stuff. But as of right now, we got super chats. The best chat in the world has sent through some. So let's go ahead and get into these, fellas. The first one that I want to read is from my man Tupac Westside. Tupac sent through $10 and said, "Morning, fellas. To answer the title, it depends how they are used. Like if stats are used without context to purposefully discredit players, free agency starts tomorrow, but LA fans already want Rob fired."
Yeah, I just saw
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton will be back next year. Yay.
For
Go Rob.
Extra crispy in a 6.
Hey, man.
That's what y'all got him for.
Y'all weren't happy with what DeAndre did for y'all this season?
Absolutely. DeAndre Ayton is great.
He ain't
I'm so happy.
We can't
he outplayed Alfred Sengun in the playoff series.
What?
I think
I'm saying, bro, DeAndre Ayton was hooping.
I told y'all he better than Sengun.
Oh, everyone think he better than Sengun. You guys go there, man. And I was personally arguing that man shouldn't be a all-star. You guys are up here berating me. Now Ayton better than him. Okay. Cool.
What was it? That was last season, wasn't it?
So Sengun just go worse at basketball. Huh?
Well, no, but that was because they were the 2 seed. Mars, you gotta get somebody an All-Star.
No, they sabotaged Sabonis for Shingo.
No,
that
you
year.
don't. No, you don't.
Well, he plays for the Kings, so that's okay.
Well,
If
the Kings are a bunch of mid, that turns into
you can't have Kings in the All-Star game.
Just quickly on that, since we're beyond that topic now. I want to be very specific about here, Ox, and I mean this as a friend. I am going to be very, very, very much involved in Sacramento Kings basketball this year for obvious reasons. I'm very hopeful for you.
What obvious reasons?
Alex
Yeah,
Caravan.
I do believe that Darius Acuff is going to be a franchise-changing player for you. I could be wrong, but I'm really excited to see what he does in your city, bro. Especially how engaged your fan base is and his play style. I'm really excited for you, Ox.
What's happening right now?
Yeah, I don't know, Ox. That sounds like he's setting
I'm
you
not
up with the
Slapper.
left.
You're not finna line me up.
It
Bro.
sounds like he's setting you up with the left, Ox, to crack you over the nose with the right. That's what it sounds like.
You know what? I hope Darius Acuff is as good as advertised. Honestly, I mean, obviously, I want the best for him. I want the best for the Kings always. So I feel the same way.
Summer League starts in
July
the third for the California Summer League. I think. I like the Salt Lake.
Sniper, do you?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that day one Darius Acuff, like he steps on the court for Sacramento, he'll be their best player?
No, I think it's going to take a while to adjust to NBA speed, but I do think that people that are not familiar with his game and his level of shot making, and I mean like almost unprecedented level of shot making for a guard, like off the dribble like that. I think people are just asleep on like what he's like damn near like at 18. Like in some ways, like he's not as explosive, obviously, as Damon Weaver. Right. I remember that Weaver very well. Because obviously, whatever. I do think Acuff's going to be really good, though. I think he's going to struggle, obviously, defensively at times, and he's going to look like a rookie. But in terms of just pure, like, damn, Acuff just had 38 points in on a Tuesday, as a rookie in February. It's just going to be like, wow, we really have something that we're building here. I think he's one of those kind of players. I think he comes along a lot quicker than Keontae George did, because Keontae took 3 years, which is why Mars was rightfully concerned about his development in the first 2 years. And then Keontae out of nowhere just was like, you know what? I'm actually pretty good. I think Acuff walks in the building. And I think this goes to the thing I said last Friday, Real Talk, if you probably weren't here for that, where I said, I do think there's a look of a player. You can tell like there's something about them. I do think Acuff is like cut from a different kind of cloth from what I've seen from him when he was in college to where he is now. But once again, I could be wrong for sure.
So let me get this straight, Real Talk, because I think it's interesting with Laker fans. So in the last 6 years, you got James on your team. You got Anthony Davis on your team. You just traded for Luka like less than a calendar year ago on your team. But Rob needs to be fired because he re-upped DeAndre Ayton.
He didn't re-up him. He opted
into it. I get that point. He opted into his deal for $8 million, which is a bucket of extra crispy in a six-pack. And it's not like he's bad. It's not like he sucked. He just ain't Shaq. He ain't Anthony Davis. He ain't that good. No. But he needs to be fired because of that. He ended up bagging Marcus Smart, right? He ended up bagging Marcus Smart.
He's not Isaiah Hardenstein good.
So he's making $25 million.
Yeah, he's making way less money.
But $8 million? Like what can you?
But even still, I'm saying in the league as a whole, like that's a good center. You know what I'm saying?
That's an upper tier.
We're not asking
I'm not sure how many bigs in the league make less than $8 million.
How many?
Like Valanciunas made 10 last year for context, Real Talk.
So yeah, let me find.
Is he better than is DeAndre Ayton better than Jay Huff?
Sure.
I think he's a more offensively talented big for sure. Yeah,
he's better than Jay Huff. You don't have to say he's better than Jay Huff.
I mean, but Jay Huff just plays a different role. To your point earlier, Rox, like he just plays a different role than
he's still better than him.
Would the Lakers be better if Jay Huff was on the crew?
No.
He's a rim runner, for Luka.
Like Jay Huff.
First off, I didn't say who said to fire Rob Pelinka. I didn't say that. Now the super chat said that other fans are saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying though, like I'm super excited about everything that Rob Pelinka is doing so far for the Lakers. I'm glad that we have DeAndre Ayton back. Hey, who needs Austin Reeves on any kind of team-friendly deal anymore? Let's sign him up for $45+ million a year. Sign me up for it. I'm happy with the decisions. We don't know what we're doing with LeBron yet. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be getting what Luka wanted, which was like some defenders and this A+ or tier 1 center that he requested, and we brought back DeAndre Ayton. Like, we're doing so great right now, chill.
Luka said that he was looking. We need some defenders.
There's not many bigs making less than DeAndre Ayton.
Right.
Who aren't on rookie deals.
And to be fair, Zeke Najee's making 7 if you would like him, real talk.
Is DeAndre
Clint Capella's making 7.
7, he is.
Is DeAndre Ayton better than Cater from Boston?
No.
No, he's not.
No, he is not.
I mean, if you ask me, like, DeAndre Ayton is, hey, you guys are actually, doing too much with him. If he's only making $8 million, that kind of signifies maybe he should be a backup center. So maybe,
oh my God,
maybe y'all need to just go get a center that actually should be you guys' starting center. And then if DeAndre Ayton's the backup, that won't be.
They could have drafted Terrace Reed. They just hawked Cam Carr. So I mean, they could have actually done
Terrace
that.
wouldn't start over DeAndre.
But Terrace would be a.
He just wanted Cam Carr on the Nuggets.
Well, no, he could have been. He could have been a center that they could have used like for the next several years. But yeah, happens.
Is he better than Valanciunas?
Yes.
I think
absolutely.
Valanciunas, absolutely. I do.
They both have elite touch. I mean,
I think he's better than Cater too, by the way.
No, respect. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Mars, you remember the days where
with you.
Do you remember the days where people were arguing with us that Valanciunas was like this really good player and how he was going to make the Denver Nuggets so much better?
Literally,
I think he had a good season.
He wasn't the problem for the Nuggets.
No, absolutely.
Injuries were the issue.
I mean, there's more than one problem the Nuggets had this year.
There was a lot of problems with the Nuggets.
Yeah,
I don't think Valanciunas was helping the problem.
Well, I don't think he was meant. He wasn't meant to become what happened. I don't think the issue is 5 of the Nuggets' best players missed at least a month this year. I think Valanciunas had, and he got, including him. Remember, Valanciunas had a calf injury. It was just a mess. The whole season was a mess. Like, it was just a mess.
Was he a playable player in the playoffs?
I think he had moments, but you know how I feel about that. Real talk. I think I think when you're dealing with like offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding matter a lot when you're going to play at a big in the playoffs, and he would, because of the lack of his foot speed, would lose track of the ball at times. And as everybody knows, ending possessions for me is like job one. And if you don't end possessions, and then on top of that, your foot speed isn't where it needs to be, it creates some issues. So, but I don't blame him for all the issues. It happened now, but he's going to get by the way, Ox, fun enough. You might like this. Maybe not. You might not care. I did Locked On NBA last night, and I was looking up the biggest contracts ever because, Giannis, Jokic, and Shea and Tatum eventually, they're going to sign these new deals. Jokic is going to be his next deal. He'll be signing for like $680 million in total career earnings, right? And Giannis will be there as well.
Relax, Ron.
Right.
I thought he was setting up like he was saying in that deal.
Well, in total, but
this CBA got signed that I didn't know about.
The next deal is what Swiper's saying.
Well, when he signs this deal, he'll have a career earnings about 670. LeBron's at the most ever, like 5 something. But I looked up. Funny enough,
KD was the most.
No, KD, he's underneath that, but he's like in the top 10 or maybe 5 or 6. Now, Ox, funny enough, 14 of the 15 players that are the highest paid players ever are still active today. The only one that's not is Chris Paul. And then also the 100th highest paid player in NBA history, who's just 3 spots behind Gilbert Arenas, Jonas Valanciunas. $150 million made in his career. 156, I believe.
Shout out Jonas.
I mean, I mean, like Raptors and Memphis, Jonas, that was a baller. I mean, I still feel like even last year, I don't believe the Nuggets got Jonas Valanciunas to carry them through the playoffs or be some huge playoff production. I think he was more of a, come in and help us in the regular season, being that backup to be able to do some of the, for a backup center, I think he can do some more of the similar stuff to what Jokic does for that first unit. So I think that was the main reason to get him. But when you lose everybody, what is Jonas supposed to come in and start dropping 33 and 15 like he's Jokic? I don't think that's what was supposed to happen.
Yo, I'm about to pivot back over to these super chats. Shout out to Jonas though. Also shout out to Team Lithuania, him, Matas, and Kasparis. They was kind of getting busy the other day. Pretty cool team. But Amari G02 sent through $9.99 and said, I blame you guys for Jaylen Brown being disrespected. He's the second best two-way player in the league and is a top 5 player, but you guys want to put players like Luka ahead of him when both JBs are literally better.
I don't think he's ever sent a super chat that wasn't just bashing Luka. So shout out to him. But yeah, he has something against Luka. I don't know what it is, but something against him.
Does anybody think that Jaylen Brown's better than Luka up here?
No, I don't think that.
Does anybody think Jalen Brunson's better than Luka up here?
I don't think that. No, I don't.
Nice.
No, nobody.
Half of that.
Ox thinks that Jaylen Brown is better than Luka. Ox thinks that.
Well, Ox, you can join me. Perhaps things I'm hearing. Maybe it's a strong maybe. Maybe you can join me in Denver next year, brother.
I was listening to that. I was listening to that the other day, and obviously, no, I don't think Jamal Murray is better than Jaylen Brown, but I do think that's a win-win situation.
Swiper, can you detail the whole trade for those who don't know?
Yeah, I was agreeing with you on that, Mark.
Oh, I don't know. It's going to be a 1-for-1 with assets, or it would be a 2-for-2. Bill Simmons said 2-for-2 with Murray, Cam Johnson for Hauser and Brown. I don't think that's going to be what it is, but yeah, definitely there's the world. They're engaging in discussions and all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, my proposal is Aaron Gordon and Murray for JB and Derek White. Lead to that definitely would favor positionally.
Wait, what? Hold on, what? Rewind. What was that?
Yeah.
What was your proposal again? One more time.
There's a world because of some other things where Aaron Gordon, which is not what they want. They do not in every way, shape, and form. They want to keep Aaron Gordon, but if there's a world where if they did do a 2-for-2, AG be involved, it would be with like Derek White and JB or something like that.
So Jamal and AG for Derek JB. And JB.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be 2-for-2 though. So.
Shit.
Who would be y'all's power forward now?
That would be a lot of betting on Peyton Watson.
But he would not be playing power forward. Lord willing, I told people year 2 he's not a power forward. So they would have to go get one. They're gonna have to get a point guard in one scenario, or they're gonna have to get a power forward in the next scenario.
Can Jonathan Isaac still play basketball?
Yeah, he got waived
for about 7 minutes every 3 months.
I'm gonna take that as a no.
Yeah,
man, remember when I was president of Jonathan Isaac FC, and then he said
you said that he gives you the best 20 minutes in NBA.
Yeah, you said he was the best per minute defender in NBA.
Yes,
I think.
And I still stand on that, man. The guy just can't play.
That's the problem.
Tragic,
that's until obviously Jaden Quaintance starts playing 15 minutes a game, and then
he might be the new Jonathan Isaac. That might be the
is that going to be your new FC?
So what do we?
I mean, yeah, I'll be up here defending Jaden Quaintance from like everyone saying he sucks because he can't.
And
play.
apparently he's a manga fan as well. Like he likes animes and stuff as well, so which makes me like him even more. More agendas. Cam Booger and I have the same birthday. I did not know this. So obviously that's Agenda Town. And then obviously with Jaden Quaintance,
you and your nephew got the same birthday.
Shouts. Maybe we are related. Shout out to Real Talk Foundation of Black Americans. I would also say Jaden Quaintance, obviously, with the anime background.
Don't bring me into your foolishness.
So yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see, bro. I'm really excited.
Jonathan Isaac's only turning 29. A team could take a flyer on him for the minimum. And if you get a healthy Jonathan Isaac, that's 11 minutes of amazing defense.
I don't want to hear none of y'all get on my case when y'all listening to Mars talk about Jonathan Isaac, who has not won, tore up his knee twice, can't play for more than 10 minutes. But when I want to hold on to guys, I get run over by a dump truck.
What I'm saying is he's good when he plays. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I said a minimum
10 minutes, by the way. Like
yeah, those 10 minutes.
And we don't get him. And we don't get him for 10 minutes straight. By the way, we get him for 2 minutes here. We get him for 3 minutes here.
Yeah.
And we don't get.
Go check in and mess up the game for 2 minutes, and come out, and then we'll put you in again for another 2 minutes later.
And just to be clear, people are calling me a LARPer about anime. I've been watching anime longer than most of y'all have been alive. So like, you will not do this to me, respectfully. I'm not going to say any more about it. We'll talk, but you're definitely not going to do this to me at all. Most of y'all,
bro, we get it. You've been watching anime.
Wait, real talk. Did you not watch Dragon Ball D growing up? Did you not watch Dragon Ball D?
Watching the WNBA and women's college basketball for 15 plus. You also know everything about baseball, football.
No, I don't know anything about baseball. No, I don't. No, I don't.
he does not.
Hey,
Baseball,
chat, spam the random movie and Swiper give you the whole, synopsis of the movie.
And not only that,
Baseball,
Swiper, you've read every book written past 19.
I've
Come on
read
now,
well
we know
over
that.
1,000 books in my life. Yeah,
He's read the Bible 4 times in his lifetime.
well, that's easy. That was mandatory. But yes, I've read over 1,000 books in my life.
Swiper, you have not read the Bible front to back and back to front. You might know a good portion of the Bible. You have not sat down and read every book.
To be fair,
from start to finish.
I was privy to some intense theological debates when we was in.
I have for sure read the Bible back and
was.
forth at least a good amount of times, brother. But you got to remember, I was in school, so it was a part of the whatever.
They had some, and they were quoting scripture. I was just there, like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
but they were getting. It was. I don't know if it was intense.
Which is not. It doesn't make you a better person of faith or not. Just so it all just put that out there. But yes.
Hey, after Swiper talk, y'all, we got to start saying, "Stay thirsty, my friends." This the Dos Aggies nigga in real life. This the Dos Aggies nigga in real life, bro. Hey, he need a Dos Aggies. Hey, somebody sound my. Hey, we need an ad. Somebody go.
Wait,
man.
can I share? Wait, real quick. This right here happened in real life. Real talk. 12 years old. There was a girl in my backyard. I didn't know she was there. It was a neighbor's. Oh,
be careful.
Neighbors,
now.
whatever. I was in the house.
Ain't up on that.
I'm real talk. This is me. Swear on good things.
Doesn't work.
I was in the house watching Dragon Ball Z, screaming Kamehameha, right? I go to the backyard. This random girl my age is in the back with my family for no reason that I know about, talking, because apparently my neighbor, it's like her niece, brought her to the house. She wanted to see the backyard because, people got plants and stuff. Bro, I literally, real talk, I'm not kidding you, did that. I was so embarrassed, real talk. I've never said this, by the way. I was so embarrassed. I went and grabbed my basketball from in the house and started shooting shots to let her know that I wasn't, you know what I mean?
Oh, good. Oh, you got it.
I had to save it. Bro, I was in the house screaming,
I mean, it doesn't matter if you come out shooting like Steph Curry. Ain't no coming back.
There's no coming back.
What's crazy is she was probably doing that too. See what I'm saying? Y'all probably had something in common.
She turned around and looked at me like this.
Oh, she looked at you crazy.
Yeah, bro. I was like, all right, bro.
Swiper, you wasn't doing no Kamehameha wave. You was doing a destructo disc. You had your hand like this. You did. That's why she looked at you funny. If you would have did this, she probably would have been like, all right, I can get with you, but you was doing this. So, but anyways,
real quick, Ron. Real quick, Ron. So Swiper just told us that he's read well over 1,000 books.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking in my head, and you can. Mars is the math guy. You can straighten me out with the math, Mars. I'm going off. Maybe he started to learn how to read when he was 5 years old. So that's 31 years that he's been able to read. So in the 31 years, that means if you read over 1,000 books, that you've read over 30 books a year for the last 31 years. I am going to jump through this computer.
You also have to remember that not every book is super long. Yeah, like not every book is super long. And most books are not that long. Like poetry books are also not long at all.
You're doing that.
No, it's not.
I for sure. Right
no,
now.
but look, shout out. But again, I want to tell y'all, scholastic programs, Ox, matter. Because I didn't used to like to read. But real talk, when Harry Potter came out when we were 8, our school put a million word like census in. If you read 1 million words in a certain amount of time, you get prizes. So I read all of Harry Potter, like front and back, multiple times to cheat the scholastic thing. So I was just running through it. So yeah, bro, that's what got it started. Shout out to Harry Potter.
Reading the same book twice towards your
No, that's not the way that works, man.
No, you can't do that shit. That doesn't count.
Well, no, not every book, but
boy, been gaming the system since he was the
think about this.
Real politician, this one.
Real politician.
I have 6 books.
I got a 40-page book. I'm gonna read this 10 times.
No, but look, I mean, my thing.
Stop pad reading. That's
here you go. He finna go grab his books. He finna go grab his books now. You see what y'all done did?
I don't know about I don't know about 1,000, but like, so when I was in like 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, I was reading at a higher reading level. So we used to be into like those reading program things where we just read a lot. So I've read a shit ton of books. probably not 1,000. I don't know, but
look,
I mean,
even this is by my nightstand, y'all. These books, Artemis Fowl, this is 7, 8 books that like just in the series, just is by my bed right here, Artemis Fowl.
Have you read all
I got the Dune, yeah, of course. I got the Dune books for the summer, and then I have 200 books downstairs, like in a bookshelf. So like, yeah, it's.
Hey, mind you,
chat.
You owning books don't prove nothing.
And nothing.
Well, these are
I own a bunch of Jordans. I don't play basketball no more. I don't.
I mean, they're from school and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
but Swiper. With that being said, though, because them Harry Potter books, those books were addicting. Like I read that Half-Blood Prince. I read that in like 3 days, bro. I was on an AAU trip in the back of the van reading that book. Like those books are addicting. When you pick up one of them Harry Potter books, especially when you're 14, like I can't put that shit down. Like, I
can't believe y'all really was running around.
Look, if you
crazy Harry Potter,
Ron, if you read Artemis Fowl,
Harry Potter is fire,
bro. Y'all, if you're an easy reader and you don't enjoy reading, if y'all don't enjoy reading all that much, just pick up an Artemis Fowl book. They're literally 200 pages. And it's elite.
What is that shit about though?
Those words look kind of big. I ain't gonna lie.
No, it's not. It's just a fantasy book. It's literally about Artemis Fowl, who basically is the son of a thief, and he discovers the world of fairies and dwarves and all this other stuff. And literally, it's a masterful book. The series is amazing. They tried to make a movie out of it.
So like some Lord of the Rings type shit.
Nah, not Lord of the Rings. But again, that's another one. Like did y'all read Lord of the Rings?
Oh my God,
I didn't read that. I didn't read that.
Chronicles of Narnia, Lord of the Rings, all that stuff.
No, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. No, sir.
Oh my God.
But hold on, bro.
Swipe.
It's 380
Understand, Swipe. You do understand that we starting to like know you're real. So look, y'all have been out of town with Swiper multiple times.
Correct.
I've been out of town now with Swiper one time. Now, somebody let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we ain't seen Swiper read and book no time. Now, this is something that he says that, I do this all the time. I've read all these books. I've been with Swiper. I've been pause, but you know what I'm saying? I done hung out with Swiper and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They've been out of town with Swiper. Some people even stayed in the same room. So I'm gonna ask y'all again. Maybe I'm tripping. Has anybody up here seen Swiper read a book?
Never have, never will.
Not that I can recall. I don't recall seeing something.
This nigga's the LeBron James of the panel. Bro, hey, look, man. You be lying for no reason. Why? Why do you do that? I'm just trying to understand why you be doing this. Why?
I do recall when they were having their Bible debate. Dub just came out and whipped out some whole Bible out his bag. So shout out to Dub. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, a lot of Muslims and Jewish people teach Torah, and then obviously the Quran, and then obviously Bible. But I think people got to realize I have a book in my bag when I travel, but I'm usually with y'all, so like I'm not gonna take time out to read. And again, I want to be very clear. I'm not gonna share. Chill. My senior would literally go to my games with a book in his hand to to in between halftime and stuff. So I come from a reading family as well. So this is not like, you got to realize I've been reading small little books since I was like high. You know what I mean? And so then you just build with it. And then think about it, y'all. Think about it. I went to school, 3 bachelor's degrees, so you're going to have to read a lot for that. Then I went to grad school in an intensive program that requires you to read 10, 15 books a semester. So you just do the math. You know what I mean?
Like, anybody up here
that's still not 1,000, but
I don't think anybody up here is questioning your education, Swiper. I just think that you're a little extra sometimes. That's all.
I like reading.
You could be a little.
But one of the best series though is Mildred D. Taylor. Y'all know Mildred Taylor. Mildred D. Taylor. So she got that Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. Those books. Great series. Y'all should check those out.
By the way,
add that to the book club, Swiper. I'll be there.
All Tomorrow takes 120 pages to read. It's an online book.
Ron, when the last time you read a book? How about that? Hold on, Swiper. Ron, when the last time you read a book? Ron.
Sure, I just showed you the book I'm reading. You see the bookmark in there too? Hey, I ain't lying. But I don't read like physical books though. I got like a.
You literally just showed us a book that you said you read.
Yeah. Chill. Can you let me finish my statement?
I'm sick.
I typically don't read physical books. I'm an ebook type of guy. I have And I haven't read all of these. I ain't gonna swipe it, y'all. I haven't read all of these, but I have. It doesn't tell you how many, but I could just swipe through them. I like to read ebooks because, like unlike Swiper, like I'm not just about to travel with a book because.
But that counts as reading a book. There's nothing wrong with
audio.
No. Ebooks count as reading for sure.
No, 100%.
Audiobooks is also reading. I don't want to just.
Audiobooks is not reading.
But anybody that doesn't have the time and you feel like to physically read, you want to get into reading. You reading or listening to an audiobook is still you engaging in material and learning and reading. So don't.
Yeah, but it's not reading.
Reading though, sure.
Like it's fun. Like I'm not saying that you shouldn't.
Wait, a thousand in his thousands audiobooks.
Oh my!
Oh, we got his ass. Hey, we just had to get him to keep talking.
I like audiobooks. I'm on the road a lot. I'm in the car a lot. I like audiobooks, but that's not
manga is not really my thing. But again, I want to be very clear about this. Again, because of my job. I've read entire sections of civil rights literature. So like this is also easy to do.
Article's not a book, Swiper.
No, you know I don't have to read articles. But anyway, however y'all read. I hope y'all read more.
How about you read the damn super chats?
And then the book club is coming out. We're starting next week.
I agree.
First meeting is next Saturday.
First meeting
is next Saturday.
Really quickly, Ron. Really quickly.
Shout out to y'all.
We can move on. FIFA. So I read this. I got a quarter through this
book
right here, and I couldn't keep reading it because it was pissing me off so much. I couldn't keep reading.
I got that shit.
It pissed me off. I couldn't. It's about housing Black Americans who had a difficult time getting housing, and I couldn't read it because it was really pissing me off. I couldn't handle it, so I had to stop reading it.
So my K-Dot's on my Twitter. Ron, you also I would like for you to join. You can read or listen to a book. It's gonna be great.
So you don't want me to join that book club?
Of course I want you in the go. Of course I want you to
swipe up.
I would join if y'all was gonna read some better books, but
well, you know.
Have you already read?
If you guys was reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I would have been lost.
What?
So I'm sorry, Ron, if I interrupted you. I know we got to move on, Ron. So.
No, I've been waiting. I've been holding off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, the next super chat I got is from Nas number 9. Sent through a 2-part super chat. This is a good one. He said, Mars, since you were the youngest on the panel and got into hoops late and had to do your homework on the past eras to know what you know, how did you go about it? Did you skip around eras? Did you start from the 60s and work your way up? Did you start from the 2020s and work your way back up? What would you recommend? And is YouTube the only place to watch past games?
First of all, before Mars answers that, there is no documented evidence to suggest that Mars is the youngest. He might be the oldest up here, as far as we know. We don't know that because we don't really know how old Mars is. We don't know anything about Mars.
2 weeks ago.
So
Mars 35.
No, facts. I got 2 answers. One is I never actually watched. I just kind of just spoke and hoped you guys took my words. That's me doing due diligence.
Should I be talking about with him, Ron? This is what I'm talking about.
And I just hope no one asks direct questions because I actually ain't watched these games.
They're all monkey.
Or the other answer is during COVID. It started with the NBA started releasing the old games, like just random marquee games throughout history. So I binge watched those. And then I just started going down a rabbit hole of NBA games, history, whatever. Really, the pandemic is the only reason I had enough time to do all of this. And then as years have gone on, I just find myself watching games from wherever. There's no real strategy to it because I never planned on being here. So it wasn't like, oh yeah, I need to be well informed for when I'm on a national basketball platform. It was like I just enjoyed watching basketball, and then the opportunity presented itself to talk about it, and luckily I had some level of knowledge, but there was no structure. It was just I watched whatever I wanted to watch at the time, and I just built up a level of. It built up kind of like Swiper's book collection, just a bunch of games and I guess knowledge that I could then recall. But yeah, there's no structure. It wasn't start from the 60s, work my up or work back. It was I watched this game from 05, then I watched another game from 93, then I watched this player, and then I watched that player, and they played 30 years apart. Like there was no planning. If you want to plan, I would probably say work backwards.
Was there a specific era, Mars, that when you first started watching this that you enjoyed more?
The mid 2000s.
So like 2005 to 2008.
From when they changed the rules, so like 05 to like 08, 09, 2010, those type of years. I think the league got kind of mid in the early 2010s. Not great basketball in that time, but yeah. And then I always find it cool watching games from like way back because you end up seeing like how different the rules were. Like I didn't know until I went back and watched. They used to do a jump ball at the start of every quarter in the 60s. So like, if you just have a big who can just win every jump ball, you end up having an innate advantage because you start every quarter with the possession. So that was cool. And they used to give you a free throw for every foul. So if you fouled someone intentionally with no bonus, it was free throws. So that was cool. I was watching. Was it the 1976 finals? I think. And then that's where we got the rule where you can't, if you call a timeout, but you don't have a timeout, and then you get the tech, but then you have to inbound it from like the baseline. We have that rule because of the 1976 finals, because Paul Westphal called a timeout when his team didn't have a timeout.
In 76. Yes,
in 76,
which was ridiculously smart, by the way.
Yeah, they were down 1, and there was obviously no 3-point line, and there was only like a second or so left. So he decided to intentionally call a timeout, give away the technical free throw, so that they could be down 2, and then but back then it would still grant you the timeout, so they got to inbound side out in the front court, and then they drew up a play and then managed to tie the game. And the reason we have that rule now that you don't get the timeout granted for you even if you don't have it is because of Paul Westphal. So like seeing stuff like that, how like people were manipulating rules all throughout history, and then see how the rules come to be now because of all of the errors of manipulation, is kind of cool. So yeah, but once again, no structure, no plan. Just watch the games, watch what you enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, don't watch it. Don't force yourself to watch stuff you don't want to watch. There's no point in that.
All right, the next super chat I got is from Jaylen Brooks 395. Jaylen Brooks said, "I'm confused. Can you guys explain to me how Luka is better than Jaylen Brown? Was watching Gil's Arena and they said Luka's is a worse defender than Trae Young and the most inefficient player in the NBA. So why? Just good PR?"
I mean, if they can lie twice, then sure, yeah. Luka is worse than Jaylen Brown. If we could just lie about him, then sure. Yeah, I don't know why he's better than Jaylen Brown if he's a worse defender than Trae and the most inefficient player in the league. I don't know why.
We are aware that this whole thing is just wrapped up in what's going on right now. Because I promise you, Mars, if the Los Angeles Lakers won the NBA championship and Luka was the finals MVP, Luka top 10 all time, by the way. Luka and Jaylen Brown is not a conversation. Luka and plenty of other players in the league are not a conversation if they won the NBA championship. That is not my opinion. That's a fact.
Chill. Jaylen Brown and Luka Doncic aren't a conversation today. We don't have to have a hypothetical if he won for all sane, well-functioned, right?
Oh my God,
people, right? We all know that Luka Doncic is better than Jaylen Brown. Respect to those who think differently. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you and your community.
You can't say respect to those after you just call them low functioning.
I'm not saying anything of the sort. I'm just saying, like, we know Luka Doncic is better than Jaylen Brown. Like, that's not a conversation.
Yeah.
I do think it's closer than a lot of people would care to admit. Once again, it's just my philosophy of basketball, what I like in a player, what I like in a superstar. But I mean, Luka's one of the top 0.0001% of outlier basketball players in terms of what he does with the basketball. That it just puts him
too, Ron.
Jaylen Brown's not Luka. I'm gonna just put it that way.
Luka is nasty.
It's
hell. Yes, he is.
It's a little different.
But I still think real talk is tripping. You know what I'm saying? It's just not black or white. Like, but Luka different though.
He is. That's where I come in with the like Luka, Curry, James Harden, Magic. Like those guys are the exception. And playing with Joker, playing on the defensive side of the ball because they're so good offensively. Yeah, they because they're so good offensively and they affect the game so much on the offensive end that as bad as they are defensively, it really doesn't matter as much.
Yo,
that
Drago.
Is also one thing. Oh, go ahead.
Drago, what's good, man? What's the word?
What up?
After, we got a special group chat, a special Hall of Fame group chat. And I sent a message. Well, I sent a screenshot of Jaylen Brown's tweets. I sent that message to, our panel group. And I said, we're going to be talking about this on Monday. And then I also sent it to our Hall of Fame group. I said, we're going to be talking about this on Monday, whether analytics have in fact ruined basketball. Drago being the Hall of Famer he is and being, a hooper, if you will. He was like, man, I want to pull up and I want to talk about this. I got something, valuable that I can add to this conversation. I said, sure, Drago. I would love to hear what you got. So, Drago, the floor is yours. What do you want to talk about in terms of analytics and whether they've ruined the game or not?
So I just wanted to talk about a lot of the things you already mentioned a lot of it. And I think one of the main factors in this conversation is that I think the people that get all of the anger are the quote unquote nerds, let's say us mathematicians that maybe come up with the numbers, that develop these models. But if you talk to a lot of these people or listen to them, the Thinking Basketball has their own podcast. Dunked On is also one that do a lot of these analytics stuff. But when they talk, they also watch a lot of the tape. Like, these are not the people that don't watch the game. These are not really the people that maybe Ox is talking about when it's El Basketball. It's just, there's one number and that just means everything. And what I think it is more like it's people on Twitter that use these numbers that we create to like shamelessly just prop up their agendas. So I think that's maybe where all the anger should be directed. It's the guy on Twitter that goes out and, Jaylen Brown isn't top 50 because his RAPM is this and this, or his plus minus is this and this, and it just becomes this blind. But then I will also ask, I feel like we're just ignoring that the same thing happens the other way. Because I think I set that up here maybe, or maybe I said it in the chat, that when Jaylen Brown was getting pushed for MVP and whatever, like the thing that got mentioned was Celtics wins and 30 points per game. And it's like right now you're just using 30 points per game as winning as a catch all metric. Just like, not to call you out, but like when Chill used 20 and 10 a lot, where it's literally just 20 and 10, and that just becomes the sole purpose of the argument. Or Jordan did this with DeMarcus Cousins when he was like, he must have he yelled 27 and 12 4 times straight, just as loud as he could. And it's like, you're doing the same thing you're accusing these Twitter nerds of doing, of just putting everything down to one number and like, it's this number and that's just anything. So I think that's a lot of the nuance to it. My second part is
whenever I bring up 20 and 10, I substantiate the logic of 20 and 10. I don't just bring up 20 and 10 like when Sabonis was averaging 20 and 10. I talked about the making the playoffs when he was doing that. When I talked about
20 and 14.
Yeah,
14 and 7 actually.
Well, 20 and 10.
That wasn't over Schengen, but
Yeah.
21, 14 and 7. I'm sorry.
When he was doing that. But like when you bring these numbers up, when the people bring these numbers up, when I bring them up, I try to substantiate my logic when it comes to 20 and 10. The issue is, and I have a question for you, would it be better for the people if these formulas were less difficult to figure out?
I think for these, like you have some formulas that's pretty easy to figure out, like
I still don't understand net rating. I still don't understand
net rating is just you're on the court, then per 100 possessions, how much did we win or lose by?
See, that's what I'm talking about. Because like there's teams that don't have 100 possessions. There's teams that
have so rates that. Yeah, it's the same way you can't score 0.3 points in a game, but we understand 27.3 points. It's an average. It's a rate. Per game is one rate, per possession is another. It's the exact same thing. So
net rating. You've played 5,000 possessions. Let's say you play 5,000 possessions in a season. Then you were plus 100. You just divide 100 by 5,000 times it with 100. That's per 100%. That's net rating. Like that's what it is. But also when you talk about you don't understand net rating is not more complicated than wins or wins when you're in the lineup. Like this stat where Jaylen Brown brought this up about himself, like how he's the guy who's won the most the last 10 years. But it's like that's not more advanced than how many points you're winning by or how many points you're winning by per positions. That's just
it's not about being more advanced. It's about talking about what really matters. I don't care how many points I won by. I won.
Yeah,
and when you were on the floor, we won.
Yeah, exactly. When you're on the floor,
well, like sometimes when you're on the floor, you actually lose, but then you go to the bench and then your team wins
for a little bit of time, and then for the most,
so you can win the game, but you can actually lose while you're on the court.
Which is crazy to me because Jaylen Brown.
Not crazy. That's just logical. That's just
it's not logical because
a bench player can come in, lose their minutes by 12 points. Then the starters come back in. The starters win their minutes by 15. But everyone can understand how the team wins the game. But all of a sudden, it's a starter, and it's oh my god, how is that possible?
But the difference is that bench player won't play that much. Like he might play that specific time, and he lost. It 100% does.
It doesn't. The point is you can lose your minutes and win a game. That's the point.
But that's what we're using the metric as. So Jaylen Brown this season, the Celtics were better when he was off the floor.
They still won his minutes though. But they still won his minutes.
Well,
which is why that stat is weird.
Now, what does that mean? Wait. We won.
When Jaylen Brown was on the court, the Celtics were winning. When Jaylen Brown was off the court, the Celtics were winning by a bigger margin. But they were always winning. They were always winning. When Joel Embiid in 2019 in the playoffs, like I told you, they won his minutes, but then they lost his minutes so badly they lost the series. Even in the game 7, they lost by 2. Joel Embiid was a positive in that game, but he didn't play the whole game. So you know what that means? Even though he won his minutes, his team lost the game because he sat down for 3 minutes and they lost. Right. But he still lost the game. But you can win your minutes and lose.
All that means is my dudes is better than your dudes.
Yes, and
I think so. What is that? Sure. So when I hear it, I'm not saying you guys are
my minutes, and then when I was on the bench, their stronger lineups played. Like you gotta watch the game to see how these things.
And I'm not saying that you guys are doing it right now.
That's it.
But absolutely. But I'm not saying you guys are doing it right now. But all year I've heard about how that means Jason Tatum isn't as valuable as a guy who over here that's the opposite or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. That's how on-off gets used.
If I'm winning by 2 points and my little dudes come in and they win by 10 points and we win the game, like I'm a negative or something. That's how it's been presented for Jaylen Brown as well.
But it's actually because I remember Chill has used this during this. You did a very similar thing. I'm just using you right now as an example here because when we did the MVP debate, you talked about how good these guys were when Jokic was not in the lineup. So when Jokic were injured or Shea was injured or load management or whatever, like all of these guys had really good winning records. I mean, that is in a sense the same thing as looking at someone's net rating. We're looking at what's happening when you are here on the court, and we're looking at what's happening when you're not on the court. Like it's a lot, like it's the same concept. You're just doing it on a whole game, like on whole games, where we're trying to do it on the stints you're in the game to maybe get a bigger sample so we can do it for every player because every player does sit in NBA basketball.
Well, I had to change my logic when it came to winning because everybody was winning when, like, Oklahoma City was winning when Shea was off the floor. Oklahoma City was winning when Joker wasn't playing. Not Oklahoma City. Like, these teams were winning when their best players weren't playing. Only difference is that Jaylen Brown, he actually played the most. Like, he didn't miss a lot of games this year. I think Jaylen Brown played, like, what, 77 or 78 games or something like that this year. So he didn't miss a lot of games. So he contributed to winning more. But when these other guys played, what they contributed to was more than what Jaylen Brown did. That doesn't mean that Jaylen Brown was less than a player. No, it's just that these guys contributed more. So the winning aspect of it wasn't just because these guys weren't on the floor. No, that's not what so I had to come up with different logic in addition to being able to win because it wasn't just that this season.
I think that's a concept I feel like we've all used this in some version. Like either it's when a player leaves a team, are they certainly successful? It's he missed the season, maybe like a Jason Tatum this year. A lot of people maybe talked about that. Like this concept of what happens when you're not off the floor.
MJ missing a full year in 94.
MJ in 94. Like, because what we maybe this is more of a philosophical thing, but when we're looking at who's the best player, like a good measurement of that could be, because you can define it other ways, is who makes the biggest difference when he's here versus when he's not here. If we could just test it for everyone, but we can't because that's not how it works. But that could be how we look at who's the best, is who impacts winning the most, who impacts if we took him out, do they fall completely apart? And if he's in there, the 73 win Warriors. Like, I feel like that's why it's so intuitive, and I feel like a lot of people use it, but suddenly when it becomes per possessions, it just kind of, the concept gets lost. But per game, it's always fine if it's like single games. And then my second point was kind of, it's an intertwined with this. It's more of the true shooting field goal percentage point, where it's also, what are we trying to show? When we use field goal percentage, what people say they're trying to show is scoring efficiency. Like, how efficient are you scoring the basketball? Do you miss too many shots? But like, what gets counted on an NBA scoreboard isn't the field goals, it's the points. So what we really want to see is, okay, how many shot attempts, 3-4 trips included, do you use to score your points? That's what true shooting is. True shooting is just, in my opinion, they overcomplicated true shooting by making it into a more perceptive percentage that mirrors field goal percentage instead of just how many shots, how many points did you get per shot? Like, simple as that. Because that is what true shooting is.
But true shooting has now dominated. It dominates the scoring argument in the discourse, in my opinion, too much so. I think because of true shooting, scoring arguments have become very lazy. Because it all it boils down to is, volume plus efficiency.
Yeah.
This means this player has to be a better scorer. Like, and it's not that simple. Like, yes, areas of the court matter. Your access to different spots on the court matters. Are you a self creator? Are you a play finisher? Are you something of both? Like,
you beat double teams, triple teams.
Yeah, like, it's so much more than just volume.
You score on different levels.
Shooting.
And I agree. True shooting can encapsulate these things. But what I was also trying to say is, it's more a replacement for field goal percentage. And field goal percentage couldn't track these things either. And it couldn't track free throws and anything. I agree that some people, and again, these are the Twitter nerds I'm talking about. These are the guys that come up here and just, if you all remember Akil when he came up here with his Jokic was better than Braun, and it was just all advanced metrics. Yeah. I think those are the people that needs to get the ire of the storm. Not necessarily mathematicians, nerds, analytics staffs. I know this was an analytics guy that said this about Jaylen Brown, but also having talked to I interviewed with the Kansas City Chief for an intern position, and it's also like, if my job is to be in an organization and do the analytics, I'm not going to talk about, like, if someone comes and asks me, what is your opinion of Jaylen Brown? Like, I will give them what my job is. Like, my job is to look at it analytically. I will then, when we evaluate a Jaylen Brown as an organization, as the Celtics, or as another team trading for him, then we all obviously encapsulate the scouting, all of the things, watching the film, all of this, and we have some head decision maker that gets my numbers, but also gets the scouting department looking at film. But my contribution to that is the numbers. It's not my job to look at the film. I give them this. I look at the film to find out what the best numbers maybe are and how to approach it correctly. But my job is the numbers. The other people have their job, just like some people are shooters and some people are rebounders. And we need to do some of the same things, but we also need to do the things we do.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot to it. I think Ox, he made a fair point where he was like, it's a tool, and it really just depends on how you use the tool. Some people use it for better, and this is just in my opinion. Some people use it for better. Some people use it for worse. Some people just use it to paint the whole picture, and they don't even watch the games.
And actually, because I have been critical of this LMAF ball that Ox brings until he kind of explained it. And what he explained it as is misusing numbers, which I agree with. I agree we shouldn't misuse numbers. I agree this. I just think we also need to be a little aware when it happens on the other side of the 27 and 12 or points per game, and it just becomes or championship, which Ox has been critical of before, of just oversimplifying things. But I do really think that I really agree with this, like misusing numbers, also because it makes me look bad personally, because I am one of the guys that develops these things. So I very much agree with this El Basketball thing, is how he explains it. But I just think we need to be a little more fair in that we distribute that to everyone who needs to get this El Basketball things. Maybe including.
I mean, I think that, but the acknowledging that you can't just say 27 and 12. I think that is the rise of the analytic group anyway. So that has been acknowledged. I think now it needs to be acknowledged on the other end more so than addressed in the 27 and 12. And by the way, look, 9 times out of 10, Ron, the guy that's averaging 27 and 12 probably really good at the sport. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like we have
9 times out of 10, the guy with a high box plus minus is really good at the sport.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But what I'm saying is I think what analytics or just people that use it, to me, we try to contextualize simple numbers and winning to an extent to where we devalue it, in my opinion, because now it's just stat. Like, yeah, Jaylen Brown averaging 30 and his team was performing that well. That is something that can be brought up for Jaylen Brown in a positive light. Now, whether you use that metric to sway him into, maybe a conversation he doesn't belong in is one thing or another. But like, shout out to Max in the chat though. Like, one thing surprised the hell out of me because he usually saying dumb shit, but production does matter. Like, yeah, averaging 30 matters, and that is a plus. And it's not to be swept under the rug because, he's only doing it on league average efficiency or whatever the hell you try to do that sometimes. So I don't know. It's a balance that we have to find.
To Mars's point, the guy who led the league in box plus minus today was Nikola Jokic. He could play a little bit.
Yeah, he's a solid player.
Yeah, he can play a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Most of these metrics are gonna be pretty accurate. That doesn't mean the order is going to be exact, but it's very rare you're going to see a bad player be at the top of all-in-one metrics, particularly all-encompassing ones. Now the defensive ones there, but all-encompassing metrics, pretty much is going to have good players at the top, bad players at the bottom for the most part. Now there's going to be exceptions for sure, and there's going to be players who are probably a bit too high, players who are probably a bit too low, or way too low, or way too high. But for the most part, it's okay. That doesn't mean that you should still use them. I don't think you should be using all-in-one metrics personally, but the exceptions don't disprove or prove the illegitimacy. The same way one player who fills a box score not being a good player doesn't prove the illegitimacy of the box score. Exceptions don't disprove the rule.
I would like to,
but to me, that's not the exception though. The exception would be somebody is averaging 22, 10, and 8 and isn't that good. That's the exception. The rule is.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
I thought you were saying the other way around. I think that. Okay, I think that.
Real talk, listen.
You're right. I'm not listening. I think both sides get so caught up in trying to discredit the other that they lose sight that there's real
gotcha moments
in both. Like, there's validity in the statistics, and there's also validity in no, I have to watch these players play and then come to my own conclusion. Like, both of those things are true. It's just finding the correct balance. I'm always one that I think that you should watch, and then, in crafting arguments or something, make sure that you have something that supports what you're watching. But I do think sometimes people are letting the stats dictate where they rank players or how they view players instead of letting the play dictate that.
I mean, that's
people don't want to watch the sport, man. It's that simple. People don't want to watch it, but they want to talk about it.
It's good information to know, Ron. I mean, the fact that Steve Nash in 2005, when he won the league MVP, that he was responsible for almost 50% of his team's assists. Like that's a bit. I don't know how many point guards can say that they've done that aren't awesome, right? To be able
He
to
always
be
had the ball.
Right, but to be responsible for that much of your team's offense, that's a pretty big deal. Like, and you ain't the primary bucket getter, by the way. Like the guy who usually has the ball in his hands more times than not, he the dude that's scoring all the points. Steve Nash wasn't scoring all the points, but he was responsible for that Phoenix team getting the points that they got, the majority of them. So I think that's information that I do need to know.
Yeah, I would like to speak to what you said a moment ago too, Mars, as far as like those stats or analytics or whatever when it comes to offense versus like the defensive end. Even though some of the formulas are flawed, I can trust the offensive ones more than I can trust the defensive ones, because the formulas for the defense are created. They're so flawed, and you're not really taking into account what's actually happened. Like for offense, I can see, okay, well, he passed him the ball. I know, okay, I could track that. Like, okay, he passed it to him. That's this. That's what the X is. He scored it. That's what the Y is. On the defense, a lot of people don't even know who's really affecting the defense.
Offense is more measurable, for sure.
Yeah. Right. A lot of people don't really know who was responsible for him missing that shot. And then a lot of times he just missed the shot. Nobody was responsible for it. But we got to give credit to the closest person to him. You know what I'm saying? It's just be like.
And that's
why the metric. That's why those metrics, Ox, for defense, like, blow my mind, because like you can run down all of those numbers, but then try to explain to me that Joker is a good rim protector. No, he isn't. No, he is not. That's just not true. And I watched this guy play defense.
Deterrence, man. Respect is deterrence.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I think the thing with Jokic is probably when he's on the floor, they sell out so hard to stop people from getting to the rim. But Ox, to what you said, like this thing with sometimes they just miss the shot. That's a lot. Like a big part of analytics is these luck adjusted numbers, where it's like shooting. I feel like we all agree. Sometimes you make a shot and sometimes you miss a shot, like the same shot. So there's some luck to it. There's some randomness to it, whether the opponent makes their three or misses their threes. So that's one of the big important part is like all of these completely outlier shootings. How do we deal with that? That's a big part of like evaluating teams. Like early in the season is always, who just got up against teams that kind of made their threes and therefore they're kind of in a hole, or they just missed their threes. Like,
well, Drago, see,
after the early season Chicago Bulls last year,
that is a problem to me. That's a problem. Like, why? Why do you have to track that? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why do we want to control and analyze and track and dissect every single part of basketball, which is like, bro, you can't explain that. No matter what you try to do, you can't explain that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. I think that does more harm than good a lot.
Do a good job. I think one of the, for example, like we talked about the early season Chicago Bulls. Let's say you come up here, you say the early season Chicago Bulls, they're going to be for sure a playoff team. And then if you looked at their luck adjusted numbers, then you're like, okay, this is probably fool's gold. They're going to taper off, which they ended up doing. So, like, if we adjusted
Josh
for this,
Giddey did get hurt.
Yeah, but maybe that is why. But like, I'm just saying, like if it's something that needs to be controlled for and it is random, I do think we should try to control for it if we can. Where are people just shooting 56% from free over 10 game span? Like, yeah, that's
I don't think making shots is random, man.
No, I agree, but like over smaller sample. What the other thing is, your opponent making threes is random. Like you can like. Sometimes they make
a defense that gives up.
Yeah, but I get it. Like I think variance.
I mean, OKC gives up a lot.
There is some variance to it.
Like that, yeah, I agree. There's some variance, but to the degree in which people like will imply is like I don't agree. Like, shout out to Data Baller. I think analytics has become more rampant since Data Baller screenshots have become more accessible.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. But like people will see a lineup shooting like 35% from three, and then another lineup shooting 39% from three. And then they'll just attribute all types of, this lineup shoots better this lineup is better just because they're getting luckier from three. It's like, well, that lineup might just have better shooters.
And I agree. And that lineup literally
might. If my lineup has Steph Curry in it, yeah, I'm likely going to shoot better from three than the lineup doesn't have Steph Curry. That's not luck. I just have better quality. Or if my lineup is more mobile on defense, yeah, I might be better at contesting threes, which means you might be shooting worse from three. Like, it's not all just, oh, this percentage is way lower, this percentage is way higher, there's luck. Like, sure, there might be some element of luck, but to the degree in which people like to imply that any difference, like any substantial difference in 3-point efficiency is just variance, I don't agree. I'm not saying you're doing that, speaking to the general public. I just don't agree with that principle when there's so much more. Like, even like when you said, oh, you can shoot the same shot and sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. Even then, it's like the same shot can look, it might be from the same spot. It might be a catch and shoot like the other shot, but it's not the same shot. Like, it might come at a different time in the shot clock. It might come over after 4 passes instead of 2 passes. Like, even the shots that look the same can still be different in terms of the rhythm, the flow, and how it got there. So, like, there's so many things that go into it. It's like, at the end of the day, they're trying to make something they're trying to make something objective when it can't be objective. Like, that's really it. Like, Ox is right. We can't control for every variable. Baseball is a sport where you probably can, because each moment of the game is an isolated play. So you kind of can extrapolate to different variables. Basketball, everything is so interconnected. It's physically impossible to isolate every single event as its own event that isn't interdependent with the previous and the following event. Everything is connected to the next thing.
I hear you say that.
So it just can't be.
I do think in 10 years we would.
Ron, you're muted.
With AI and stuff, we'll probably get close.
How though?
Closer than we
closer,
so
maybe.
much going
I just don't
on.
think you can do it fully, and that's what they're trying to achieve. But
these AI, but at what cost? But at what cost? Is it really worth it?
We might play AI hoops, but
not even AI. But I'm not saying AI hoops. I'm just saying then we can start seeing these things for, okay, why did he miss the shot where he made the shot? It's because it was more in rhythm where the other one wasn't in rhythm.
We're gonna have a rhythm stat. Can't wait.
No, but like
he shoots 70% of his shots in rhythm, and when he shoots his shots in rhythm, he makes 80% of them.
What's when I start saying
what's going on here?
This guy's only inefficient because he just shoots 80% of his shots out of rhythm. When he shoots in rhythm, hey, he actually has an 84%.
But here's the funny thing: like a lot of you people have said analytics doesn't try to account for rhythm. But now I'm trying to say,
no, it doesn't try. It can't.
No, like. Maybe not you, but like Jordan especially has said, oh, they're not accounting for rhythm. They're not saying, oh, did he make his shot before? Did he get in rhythm? And now I'm saying like, maybe we can at some point.
But everybody's rhythm doesn't look the same though, Drago. Everybody's rhythm isn't the same. You can't account for things like that when everybody's is different. My thing about this is the issue right here. And I know it sounds like I'm yelling. I'm yelling. I could be yelling at the clouds, or I could be telling people to get off my grass or whatever. But you know, this is the issue, because I was the last generation. We wasn't allowed to be asking my mama, well, why? Well, why? Well, why? Because I fucking said so. Get your ass out of my face. That's why. Take your ass on somewhere. Yeah, for sure. but these now we got a gap. We got a gap where those kids was allowed to sit in front of their mama in public. But mom, you said, well, wait, mom, I'm not 11. I'm 13. You know, I'm not 8. Like at the buffet where you supposed to eat for free. Well, I'm actually not 7. Like now we got a bunch of people that all they do is sit around ask about, but why? Because that's just the way it is. Just enjoy the damn game. Watch the game. Just have fun.
I don't agree.
We are over analyzing things, Mars. We are over analyzing.
I agree with that, but I also think wanting to know why is good.
Yo, Draco.
Yeah, but sometimes, sometimes
there is no why.
That is just how it is. Yeah,
it's not no why exactly.
Hey, fellas, right quick.
I just made that point, but asking why is good.
Drago,
yes, but not 5 times in a row. Like,
Drago, I appreciate you for pulling up, my man. We'll catch up with you sometime soon. Thank you for coming in.
He's coming up. He's going to say some bullshit, I probably think, but we'll see.
All right. I mean, you can stay in the back if you want to, or you can ping me if you need to come and check Delsky. You know, Delsky's an easy guy to cook. So if you want to come and cook Delsky, you know, we can make that happen. Yeah. But I appreciate you, Drago. Stay in the back. We might need you, Drago. We might need you to come set the record straight. All right. Let me go ahead and get my man Delsky up here, y'all. We're going to go ahead and change pages. Well, not necessarily change pages, but just jump to a different page. What's good, Delsky? How you feeling, dog?
Can't hear you, bro.
What's up? How y'all doing?
What's
good?
Hello.
What's up?
How's life treating you?
Life is good, man.
Okay.
Feeling good, feeling healthy, you know. That's all you can ask for.
No doubt, no doubt. So similar to my man Drago, Delsky hit me and was like, "Yo, I need in on this convo." Delsky, I'm gonna kick you to rock. What you want to do with it? What you want to talk about?
No, like the past 5-10 minutes, y'all been hitting on a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. I just wanted to say, like, with advanced analytics, I get what Real Talk is saying. Like, when people start adding PRA into the conversation, they know what they're doing. They're trying to play loose and goose with the stats. We talk about advanced analytics when we talk about the catch-all stats. Advanced analytics, I get it when we're talking about teams, like from a team-to-team basis. But once you start filtering it down and try to give credit to one person, it's inherently flawed. Because once you go into that type of thing, most of formulas, if you know anything about math or science or anything like that, when it comes to formulas, you have to be able to repeat it over and over. And the only way you can do that is if you control every single variable of every single thing. So if the teams aren't playing with the same exact talent and playing in the same exact way, you cannot contribute anything to one single player because it's not the same across guidelines. So all the individual stuff, it can't, it's like inherently flawed. So all those numbers, PR, box plus minus in general, if you're not playing with the same players, it can't matter when it comes to those stats like that. And a lot
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, you good.
Oh, thank you. I think you're cooking, by the way. I agree with everything you just said. Amazing point. I didn't expect you to come in with immediate logic. I'm gonna be honest.
Hey, Dusky.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was gonna come in and just spewing a little bit of nonsense. Not because I don't agree with Delsky. I think Delsky know what he's talking about. But I didn't expect him to come in like, if you know about math and science. I didn't expect that. So hey, salute. I agree. I think for what it's worth, I do think a lot of the catch-all metrics, people misuse them. I'm on your side. I think a lot of them try to illustrate a player's impact to their situation. But people use that to be like, if this player is more impactful in their situation than this guy is in theirs, that means they're better than this guy. When realistically, and me and Rotok have had this discussion before, impact is so predicated on what's around you that people seem to ignore that. And I appreciate you for bringing it up. If variables are different, you can't just isolate these one numbers and say, well, this guy's number is better when he's playing on the Jazz compared to this guy playing on the Timberwolves. Like, yeah, one plays with the people in the Jazz on that system and what they're trying to do versus what this guy's trying to do for the Timberwolves. Maybe if this guy was in a situation that was more predicated on his skill set, he'd look more impactful. That doesn't mean you're magically a better player. It means that you're able to provide your impact in this situation. So I think you made a good point. But I do think impact metrics are only trying to decipher who is more impactful to their situation. I think that's what they tried to do. I think people just misuse them. And that's how you get the agenda pushing that you get. But I do appreciate you for bringing that point up because I think that's actually very, very relevant and very factual. So shout out to you. You can carry on.
Oh yeah. Like I was gonna say, I was gonna keep going. I think like what I said, like I was saying, with the advanced analytics, the team stuff, I get it. But any numbers that'll tell you that Jaylen Brown is the 7th best player on any team is just asinine. It doesn't make sense, and you should just throw the number out. That's why I like to say with a lot of once you come, like, it's gonna sound weird, but I'm gonna say it anyway. But basketball, I think, is more similar to like something creative like painting or something like that, because you have to really theorize a lot of the stuff that you see. Like, what would this player look like here? What would this player look like here? With one-on-one sports, everything's so controlled, so you can know who's the best. Like with one-on-one sports, they'll filter everything down. You're on the same court, you're playing in the same heat conditions. You have to, like boxing, you have to be the same weight, every single thing. So you can say, oh, who's the best? But when you're looking at basketball, and you see a player in one situation versus another player in a different situation, you can't really say how the player will perform unless you like imagine it in your mind. It's more theoretical to everything that you're seeing. Like if I see a player that can play in a 5-out and everybody can shoot, and you like, oh, like put it like this. Say if it was 2 different players, same players, they could be different positions, and then they're playing against each other, and then both teams are so good that if you try to set a screen, the player get through it, navigates through it, and then it gets down to now it's one-on-one. That's why I hate when people say one-on-one is not real basketball, Because imagine if everything was so equal that every time you set a screen, somebody gets through it, and now that person stays on you, locked on you the whole time. Now you got to get a bucket. And basketball comes down to a lot of times in the fourth quarter in close games of getting a bucket in the half court. That's why I think I value skill sets more than I value like these numbers and everything else, because half court scoring and variety in like different ways you can score is the most important thing to me. That's the most important thing to me.
We also can recognize too, like you've sat down and done math problems. It was like, nope, that's wrong. Nope. Yeah. So I gotta go back to the drawing board and I gotta do that again. So when you're sitting down and you're doing a math problem or you're putting the numbers together and it computes that Jaylen Brown is the 7th best player, not on any team, but on this current Boston Celtic team with these low rent dudes that he's running with, you can very well take that formula and go, nope, this ain't correct. There's no way that this dude, there's 6 guys on the unit better than him. You can do that. But I think that I think that
then if you're making analytics to confirm what you already believe, then at that point, what's the point?
Exactly. I would have liked to hear him ranked. I would have liked to hear the 1 through 6 before him, just to see what order. I would like to know where Jason Tatum is in that list.
RAPM was the closest stat I could find, but I don't have the 1 year RAPM.
Was Peyton Pritchard or Derek White number 1?
But so the players who were on Boston this year, and I'm gonna just include the players who played most of the games. It was Derek White 1. I'm gonna leave out Jason Tatum because he played 16 games this year. So it was Derek White 1. Bear with me. Hold on.
Derek White.
Yeah. Derek White 1. Yep. Ugo Gonzalez 2. Cater 3. Pritchard 4. Hauser 5. Garza 6. Jaylen Brown 7.
See what I'm talking about?
That left out Vucevic.
Just throw it away.
You can do
that left out Vucevic and Tatum because Vucevic joined late in the season and Tatum played 15 games. So I left those
you can put your formula down and 2 + 2 and bam, bam, bam. No, this is wrong. So I got to get rid of this. Because if this is the result, we all know that this isn't correct. We all know that throughout the course of the season, these guys are not better than him. When he's on the floor, regardless, these guys are not better than him. So take this formula and get rid of it right now because this doesn't work.
See, Chill, this is the time where I'm pushing against what I was saying earlier. Remember earlier I was saying, comparing you were the teacher from 3rd grade when we had to start doing long division and you make us show our work, even though I can look at it and I know the answer. I don't really need to show my work. In this instance,
you got to see it.
You need to show your work. If you tell me Jaylen Brown, it's like, no. How did you come to that conclusion? Show your work.
We need to see it.
And now we see that.
Also, when you're making these formulas, anybody who's making these formulas, what are you weighing? Does some stats weigh more than other stats? And if that's the case, that's just your opinion. Can you say that rebounds is more than points, or points is more than offensive rebounds, or offensive rebounds more than assists? How do you know that? Because in different positions, I need different things. If I have a center that's good at passing, I don't give a fuck if he's good at passing. I need my center to protect the rim and rebound. If I have a point guard that's good at rebounding, I don't give a fuck if he's good at rebounding. I need you to get back and be the first person back to defend a fast break. I don't need you crashing.
I need you to take
you're losing me a little bit, but I'm following. I'm following the.
Okay, if you're a point guard like Dylan Harper and you get an offensive rebound off of your own, okay, that's good. I'm saying like a point guard that's crashing because he's seen a big just shot a hook shot. I'm talking about things like that. Some stats are more valuable to different positions.
I'm just always going to think. If you're a center and you're a good passer, I think that's good. If you're a point guard and you're a good rebounder, I think that's good. Now, do I think rebounding for point guards is as valuable as it is for centers? Probably not. But I'm never gonna be like, I don't care that you can rebound as a point guard. I think that still adds value. Now, how much does it add? That's the conversation to have, but that's the subjectivity part, which I'm with you on. But I'm never gonna just be like, oh, you're good at this. I don't care.
My center is
well. I would like for you to. I would like for you to be able to do it, Mars. But I don't need you to do it all the time.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's necessary. But saying I don't care, I can't agree with that.
So, Delsky, the answer to the question here you asked is, how do we determine like what's the value of a rebound or an assist or whatever? Is we look at the data. So how this all works. Let's take box plus minus, and I'm going to oversimplify it. So we take how we come up with these coefficients on box plus minus. So how much is the value of one rebound? Is we take all of the players in the NBA. What we do is we take their plus minus, and then we find then we take all of the values like points, rebounds, assists, field goal percentage, true shooting, all of this and so on. We put that in a data set, and then we run something that's called a regression. What regression does is it tells us how many, on average, pluses or plus and plus minuses do we get per point, per assist for a player. Because
1 point is worth 1 point.
No, but like in the box score, when you come out. So we have a large data set. There's 500 NBA players or so on the season.
1 point is worth 1 point for every player. I'm confused.
Yeah, but like in the plus minus data here. So in the plus minus data. So that's how you come up with it. It's not a subjective. I decided that this number should be this. I have a whole data set, and then I run my regression. Then I try to get what's called the best fit for the model. So what it
do you run the regression for every player?
Yes, that's what you can do. That's it. That's you.
Wouldn't everyone's box plus minus formula be different?
No, that's not how it works. So, let's say you have this outcome here, plus minus. That's on your y-axis. On your x-axis, you have points. There's then you have, points over here. And then it can fit a line through this. It can even fit like a curve through this if it wants, if that's the best fit. So that's how it works. And then you can do I obviously can't draw that in many dimensions where you can have points and assists and rebounds and so on and so forth, multi-dimensional. And then it finds the relationship between all of these. And then they also do some adjusting for precisions. Then you can also interact them. Like, what's if you have points and rebounds and we put them together, and what's the relationship between them times each other? That's actually the big adjustment they did when they did in 2017 when they made the new version of plus minus. Is that they interacted points and rebounds and they adjusted for precision. So it's not really subjective. It's the data is telling you this. It's a giant data set of player data, a plus minus and points, rebounds, assists, and so on per 100 possessions. Like, it's not just a subjective things. It's very complicated, and you probably need to take a statistics or an econometrics course to start to understand this. And again, I will reiterate this. Drago. I don't think people should just blindly use this like they're doing on Twitter. I agree with all of you.
Drago,
that's how it's determined.
But so with everything you just said, do you think that that's valuable?
I think it can bring value and it can maybe indicate it, but I think it also needs to be viewed with skepticism. I think it needs to be, okay, I've seen this on film. Does it also show up in the data? Does it show up that this impact is here? Should I maybe?
But Drago, see that's the problem. That's the problem right there, because it's supposed to be math. It's supposed to be numbers. Math is supposed to be definite. Math is supposed to be what it is. If you give me a formula,
that's actually wrong.
No. Math. I'm talking about just math for what it is.
Yes.
Numbers are numbers, right? If the formula is accurate, then it's going to be accurate.
Exactly.
If it's a real formula, it's going to be accurate, and there's going to be no debating about it.
That's why they call it laws of gravity. They're gonna work no matter what.
Okay, so if you got me out here doing formulas and doing math, and it's just an estimate about 350 different people, then there's just too much. There's too much room. There's too much gray area.
And that's fair. But I also wanted to but we are also kind of, when we do our hand say, oh, Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum or the other way around. We're also estimating it. We're guessing. We can't go and test it. Like when you say, oh, my eye sees this, but you can't actually physically go and test, is this actually true? Like, there's no way.
Why can't we test? Why can't
but chill. No, you're right. Drago, you are right. You are 100% right about that. Yes. And I'm okay with that. That makes sense to me. But when you're doing formulas and all this numbers, and since people see the numbers, and we were always taught in math that if it's a formula and it's correct, then that's just what it is. People that do that, once again, Drago, I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about the math ballers. They see this math and they're like, well, it's right here. The data is right here. This is true. These snobs, they're snobs and they're arrogant fucks. They're like, no, this is what it is because look at the formula. I'm supposed to accept that? Like, no, that's not how it works because basketball is not like that.
People are trying to make something subjective objective. That's what they're trying to do, and they can't do it.
Testing?
That's why they've been saying for years. You can't do it. It's not possible.
It's
I mean,
impossible.
okay, here's also a question. To you, Maz, what is just being the better NBA or basketball player mean to you?
To Delsky's point, it's very theoretical. It's how does your skill set help your team's chances of winning in the most circumstances? That's how I try to view it. But
So
that can't be proven. Like,
it's
that's
probably
entirely subjective.
But you would agree that thing, who helps the most, is in theory objective, but how we determine it is subjective. Like we can't come up with a number if let's say you were a god and could run every player on every single situation a million times. Then whoever had the highest plus minus or wins or championships or whatever, that would probably be the best player. Like because you run them in every single situation. That would be an objective stat. You can't do that. So how you get to that point is subjective.
Yes, yes.
But who's the best is in a sense objective. But how we arrive to it is subjective.
It's not attainable though, but yeah,
no, I agree. But
in theory, you could control every variable, put players in a controlled environment, the exact same environment, and then come out with who helped their team win the most. And then you could see who the best player was, in theory. Now, in reality, that would never happen. But in theory, yeah, sure.
So
that the way in which I have to do it is the subjective way, and that's the way everyone's going to have to do it until the end of time, unless the NBA changes how they make the league. But they're not.
But it's not the subjective, like who's prettier, who has the prettier jump shot, who has the prettier girl.
And for the chat that's out there talking about this is done, just so you guys know, this is the future of basketball. This is how basketball is going to be talked about. I know for a fact that you guys want to talk about James Harden opting out of his deal, or Malik Beasley getting the right. Understand that this is what we're going to be talking about 10 years from now.
Was cooked.
I mean, we've got a whole week to discuss.
Yeah, we got
that's a fact.
But with that,
respectfully, you guys do not care enough about Miles Bridges trade.
You don't.
So we need to stop this conversation to talk about Miles Bridges to Phoenix.
And
like, you guys didn't even watch the Suns last year. Like,
the reason why this is important to me. The reason why this is important to me is because I need to understand how these things work. Because if I'm going to be in this space, I need to be able to talk about basketball, not just subjectively, but objectively with the data involved. And if I don't know this stuff, then I'm not going to be up here being able to talk about this stuff. I can talk about James Harden opting out of a deal any day. I can talk about Malik Beasley. I can talk about Andrew Wiggins opting into a deal any day. I can talk about the Miami Heat getting better any day. What I need to understand, because in 5 years, this stuff is going to be even more important than it is right now. And I need to understand.
Chill. In that guy's defense right there, gambling's a bigger issue than analytics, but I'm gonna back up.
I just want to.
No, it's not.
Right quick, Drago.
I'll tell you what. I prefer box score watchers than parlay watchers any day.
I'll
take a box score watch over a parlay watcher any day.
That's another thing too. But I do want to kind of say this. You guys do know, like when you send through super chats, you know, we read them and then we talk about the super chats. We might not read them as timely. We might not read them as timely as you guys might want, but we read them and we talk about them. However, ain't not a nobody sent through not one super chat, not even a $2 super chat about Miles Bridges. I've got one super chat about LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Literally one. So y'all can send through $100. Y'all can send through $50. You know, if you send through a $50 super chat, we're going to read it within 5 to 10 minutes. If you send through a $100 super chat, we're going to change topics and talk about that immediately. Nobody has sent through anything about Miles Bridges, so
it's our job to come up with the topics to keep you guys entertained, and we're doing that. But don't try to sell me that this kind of stuff right here isn't important. I'm not. I mean, let me tell you something. I am not a math guy. In fact, I very much struggle in math. But this stuff, I need to understand it. I need to understand true shooting. I need to understand box plus minus. I need to understand plus minus. Because when Real Talk start throwing numbers at me, and I'm sitting up here looking goofy as hell because I don't know what he's talking about, now what I'm doing is I'm becoming expendable. Because why am I up here? What am I doing here? Why is he here?
Still trying to protect his bread. That's what
help me. I can dig. Chill. I can dig that. And I want to say real quick to somebody else in the chat, because just like how Drago I think me and Drago and a couple of guys up here, including Penn and the other people, we had a misunderstanding when I was saying L basketball to where y'all thought I just was against stats and analytics and stuff. I'm not against that. I'm against the misrepresentation. Yes. Also, so I want to give another definition. And I've said this a lot last year. Parlay watchers are the type of guys who bet the up and the over and under and the more and less on this guy, and if he messes up their parlay, he sucks. He's not good because I thought he was going to get 45 PRA last night and he got 42. Now that guy sucks. I hate him. There's nothing he could do right, this and that, because you're irresponsible with your bread. You don't like this dude. That's what a parlay watcher is. I just want to be sure that we're on the same page. Okay.
And for real talk, I do have a better understanding about analytics today than I did a year ago. I do have a better understanding about, I might not have it down, but I do understand box plus minus. I do understand plus minus, a dude standing in the corner that's on the floor and we winning his minutes, even though he ain't doing shit. I do understand that. As opposed to years ago, I'm like, what the hell is plus minus mean? I didn't understand that years ago. I have a better.
Sure. I just really, in all honesty, the numbers just are what they are, and if you lead with them in your evaluation, that's just your point of view, I guess. You're just never going to convince me of that, though. And I think also a bit of the frustration in the chat is probably that a lot of the people in the chat have heard this conversation and kind of have like made up where they are, where they fall in line. I think for some, this is like another Michael Jordan, LeBron James debate. It's like, hey, I got Mike, you got Bron. It is what it is. But the numbers have become too like prevalent to completely ignore it, to your point, Gio. But at the same time, it's like I don't govern by them, and a lot of people do kind of govern by what these formulas and whatnot say.
I think this might be a little more worse, real talk, as far as I think people might be more bearing down in the foxhole, sticking to this, because with all due respect to anybody out there, if you're in your early 30s, you know what I'm saying, late 20s, late 30s, I don't know, and you don't have a basic understanding of when you're watching basketball, what you're looking at, if you don't got it by now, you probably ain't getting it. So it's like, I gotta rock with the analytics on, you know what I'm saying? I gotta put my trust in these made up formulas.
Analytics.
It makes you feel like
I do. Real quick. One thing I do also think, I think analytics made scoring debates lazy, and I also think they've made defensive debates lazy. That's another point I wanted to bring up. The reason why all of the lists, everybody puts the centers at the top of the list, is because it's the most quantifiable thing. And, we like can measure defense? The impact. Yeah, on defense. Yeah. We can measure the impact of the rim protection. Thus, that means these are the best defenders. And I think the more we've slanted in the analytic world, the more we have completely devalued perimeter defense. That is something that is 1,000% true, in my opinion. We act like them niggas just don't even matter. To be honest with you, we act like guarding the ball doesn't matter, containing the basketball doesn't matter. That's crazy. So
I hate that. I think to me that's rim protection. You know what I'm saying? That's rim protection to me. I feel like, and I've said this before, I feel like we're always that's where the ball's supposed to go. So we're always protecting the rim. You know what I mean? I know what y'all mean by it, obviously, but I feel like if I'm playing defense at the 3-point line, if I'm closing out on a jump shot, I'm protecting the rim. You know what I'm saying? So.
But that's not analytics staff seeing that. That like the Spurs and the Thunder are one of the two biggest teams in the analytics. And a lot of the analytics, like this ball pressure, turn the ball over, get out in transition, because transition is so valuable. Like what you're talking about is guys on Twitter saying, oh, perimeter defenders can't be as valuable as any rim protector. I probably agree they can be valuable as the very, very best rim protectors, like Hakeem, Wemby, Bill Russell, so on and so forth. But, yeah.
But Drago, these dudes, we don't even know the difference anymore. Drago, like you said, it's the Twitter guy. It's not they look the same. I don't know. They all look alike. I don't know who is who.
If he's tweeting, he's probably the Twitter guy. And if he's like working in the front office and you never heard from him, he's probably the front office guy.
Ron,
I think the front office analytics is probably more you have to watch what the teams are doing and maybe listen to more. There's some good analytics. Like again, Dunked On is a really good analytics podcast where they go through a lot of this. Where it's the ball pressure is a new thing in this analytics because they can first turn speed on defense. Like perimeter defenders with the Spurs and the Thunder have really been upvalued. Really,
Ron, I look at and I'm gonna. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about this. Ron, I look at analytics like it's the 3-ball, and I'm the big man in like 2008, and I just got to the league. I'm like, yo, I got to learn this because if I don't learn this, I'm gonna be out the league. I got to learn this.
The way I see it, Chill, if I'm that nice on the block, it don't matter.
You could be as nice as you want to be. The game is changing, and this is the way the game is going. And if you don't learn this, you're not going to be around.
So chill. What you mean to tell me is if we fast forward from 1984 to 2028, drop Hakeem Olajuwon in the draft, and he plays 10 years in the league. You mean to tell me he's gonna be out the league after his rookie contract?
By year 3, Hakeem would be shooting 3 threes again.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying, Omar. Here's what I'm saying. Let's just say Hakeem, not that he couldn't develop a 3. Let's just say he didn't want to shoot a 3, and he's like, I'm not doing that. I'm just playing the way I'm playing.
He's not going to be out the league. He's not going to be out the league.
He's not going. When we talk about him being, when we talk about him being the best 5 man in the game, you have to be able to do this stuff.
No, you don't.
You got to be able to adapt.
You do not. I don't like. You don't. Hakeem Olajuwon will step into the league and shoot 0 threes and be the best center in the league today, right now.
So the fact that
rookie Hakeem would be the best.
No. I'm saying like.
So because we live in such a pick and roll heavy league, do you think that Shaq will be able to survive for as long as he survived? Because we live in a pick and roll heavy league.
Yes,
he'll be the best player in the world today, just like he was in 2000.
You have to change some things up.
Players don't confirm.
That's the point. That's it right there, Ron.
To great players.
That's it right there. We would have to switch up some things with Shaq. We'd have to.
But you switch up things with everybody. You switch up things with everybody.
You'd have to insulate him defensively in terms of the pick and roll, but he would
just
obliterate you badly on the other end.
100%.
What would I have to switch up with Shaq personally? Himself. Okay, Shaq wouldn't have to change. Shaq wouldn't have to change anything in his game from the years 1994 from 19 chill I don't care from 1994 to 2004 Shaq wouldn't have to change anything in his game. There would be nothing that Shaq would have to change in his game from 1994 to 2004. Shaq wouldn't have to change shit about himself.
Oh yeah, fat Shaq, he might have some problems, but
from 1994 to 2002.5, he wouldn't have to change shit about his game. Okay, nothing.
Shaq changed the game. And I believe that Shaq would come, but I believe great players do this. I believe that Shaq would come in and re-change the game back, similar to kind of how what Wemby's doing. Wemby is making teams.
Well, you cooking right now.
They have to. Teams are starting to stack up on their bigs. That's why people are saying Ademara, this is going to be the Wemby stopper. It's a reason why OKC wanted to go get him, because now we want to get a big to be able to combat him and have a deep front court. Like
Wemby gonna be frying his ass.
For sure.
I agree.
But
this ain't got nothing to do with Wemby.
Nah, for sure. But I'm saying the same reason why Shaq was frying other teams' third string center. But I'm saying like great players make other teams have to adopt to them. Hakeem would 100% come into the game and change the game. We would start going back to more bigs playing on the block because he's making this style of play prevalent. He's making this style of play directly correlate to winning. He's making this style of play look like he's the best player in the league, which what would then happen is players in college would be like, okay, I got to play like that to be a better player. Kids would be like, I got to play like that, not only because I'm idolizing Hakeem, but because Hakeem is now changing the game and making this style of play more relevant and making it look better and actually be better. So I think like a lot of this shit got wrapped up in what the Warriors did, and then you had other teams come and actually be good at it. You had the Rockets then come around, and they made that look good. You had the Boston Celtics; they won a championship with that. But it's not a one-size-fits-all thing.
But chill. You shaking your head. But does Steph run a lot of pick and roll? You talking about Shaq will have to run a lot of pick and roll? No, the Warriors adjusted their whole system to Steph. They don't do pick and roll. Do Jokic do a lot of pick and roll? No, he do dribble handoffs because he's the best player on the team. We're gonna adjust our offense to him. They're going to adjust every single thing to Shaq.
A lot of DHOs and a lot of pick and dive with Jokic.
That is dribble handoffs. Those are not pick and rolls. Okay. Shaq can do it. Shaq can hold the ball like this and hand the ball off to Jamal Murray. Okay, that's not.
But Dale, that's not the. Okay, so So are you telling me that Joker does not play pick and dive, pick and pop? Are you telling me that? Is that what I'm understanding? So like the big,
a lot of top of the key dribble handoffs. It's a lot of top of the key dribble handoffs.
Some of that. I'm not arguing that point. But what I'm saying is that no, it's not most of it. Because a lot of times when Joker and Jamal Murray work, Joker get the ball back to him and he will come rescreen and then dive to the rim. Like that kind of stuff gets you in a lot of trouble if you're big that can't defend the pick and roll. And Shaq used to get fried by Stockton and Malone in that shit. He would get destroyed. And I hear you guys all the time talking to me about guys getting played off the floor. I would, if I'm seeing this now regularly, like this isn't something that I'm seeing once in a while. I'm seeing this regularly, which means that I got to learn this. I got to learn to be better at this. Otherwise, I'm going to get
both ways.
Chill. Let me ask you something. Chill. Who is the best pick and roll duo right now in the league?
I thought it was James and Anthony Davis for a while, but I think whoever's playing with Luka, because I think Luka is so good in the pick and roll. Because guards attack bigs so well in the pick and roll. It's not just pick and dive and the big man just gets to the rim. No, that guard now keeps you in jail, and now that big has to decide whether he's going to come up or whether he's going to stay back. So now what happens is I put you in a very advantageous situation when I'm doing that. So if Luka is doing that, if Kyrie Irving is doing that, if Jalen Brunson is doing that, if Shea is doing that, now my big guy, Shaq, for example, he's got to guard these guys. He doesn't just have to guard the rim.
They got to guard him.
And they got to guard him too. I'm not arguing that point, Dale. He's going to be fantastic on offense. He's not going to be a good player on offense. He's going to be fantastic on offense. He's going to be the most dominant guy on offense. The problem is that we've seen guys get played off the floor defensively.
Chill. They're not. You can't chill. You can't. Luka Doncic and DeAndre Ayton are not playing Shaquille O'Neal off of the floor. I can assure you of that. It's not happening. I think he's going to break their team far more than the lob threat roll game of Luka Doncic.
I think the issue is going to be more.
I think what he does on defense.
I think
doing on defense.
But I think the issue.
Not as much as he does on offense. That's a fact.
I think Shaq's issue is going to be more like
not nearly as much as he would be on defense.
I think his issue would be more
the great part about the NBA today is teams do such a great job in attacking what you do wrong defensively.
Yes, but you can apply all this logic to Jokic right now, and he's considered the best player in the league. That's what I'm saying. So why won't you do it to Shaq? Apply the same logic you're using to Jokic.
Because Shaq is worse at those things than Jokic are.
Shaq would be the best. Shaq would be the best.
Let me get this off.
What Shaq are y'all talking about? Which Shaq? Y'all talking about old Shaq?
No, let me get this off. What I'm saying is, let's say he's playing a team like the Pacers we saw last year. Like what they're gonna do is I don't know if they're gonna break Shaq on offense. We're gonna find out because they're gonna run in transition a lot. Like every action is going to revolve around getting him up, because like this 0-1, 0 like zero Shaq that has to move, get him on the perimeter, and conditioning. That's like for all we say about you, Jokic is in amazing shape. Like he's a great conditioning athlete.
So they're
going to find out.
Jokic is closing out and playing perimeter defense now. So that means Jokic will get played off the floor by the Pacers too. That's what you're saying.
I don't think he'll get. I don't know if Shaq get played. I'm saying we're gonna find out. I think the Pacers are gonna.
But this is the thing, though.
And Shaq is in the NBA that's playing Shaquille O'Neal off of the court.
But it's not.
Because the thing about it too is the mismatch on this side of the floor is a all day event. We got Shaquille O'Neal on offense. That is a all-day event. You can leave and come back. You know what I'm saying? You'll get a wristband and a stamp. This is going on from sun up to sundown all day. Give the ball to the big fella, and ain't shit you can do about it.
That's
all day. On this other side of the
Shaq would foul out Miles Turner so fast that you got to sub in Tony Bradley.
On this other side of the floor, you're gonna get some. You're gonna get some sometimes. You're gonna get a little bit. But over here though,
you can get 70%.
Everybody gives up a little bit. Who don't give up work? We just seen Wemby, the defensive player of the year, unanimously getting cooked.
Be a better pick and roll defense.
So is Wemby, but chill.
Okay. That's not saying that he wouldn't be awesome today.
Chill. Everybody got to be a.
Shaq would be by far the best player in the league.
Everybody got to be better on
by
defense.
Far.
We just seen Wemby getting fried on defense.
Like, y'all ain't saying nothing that's out the ordinary. It's Shaq, but he's got weaknesses in his game.
So
that's the point.
Everybody got weaknesses.
Getting played off the court.
But I'm not saying he's getting played off the court. Let me say what I'm trying to say. I'm actually
I wasn't saying that you said that. I was talking to Chill.
Real talk.
He's going to get played off the court.
Clarify this. You guys
had insinuated it. That's what I just said.
Let me clarify right now. Real talk. You guys talk to me all the time about guys getting played off the floor. We live in a very pick and roll heavy league. Very much so. And we got a lot of guys, guards in particular, who are fantastic in pick and roll. Fantastic in it. And they put these big guys in jail. They put these big guys in very precarious situations where they have trouble. Shaq was weak in the pick and roll. Offensively, it was him and it was everybody else because he was so awesome as an offensive player. Very much like Joker. He was so awesome as an offensive player. But he did not have to deal with the pick and roll heavy league that we're in today. And that's the issue that I'm having.
That's correct. He was still by far and away the best player.
We talk about players getting
right now.
I don't think
and nobody.
But I think you're also ignoring the fact that I think you guys also ignoring the fact that they could do things on when they're on defense to try and not let Shaq get the ball, like pressure up.
Like, no, you're not gonna be able to do that. Like
pressure the other team, so they have to play fast and get Shaq in these.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Pressure. So if he's playing on the Lakers, you pressure them. So. Like, okay, they score, but it's not because Shaq got the ball. Either turn the ball over, they score. You play kind of this Indiana Pacers style where you try to get all of the pace going all the time. So Shaq's conditioning, his conditioning would have to be better if he played today.
Hey, real talk. Imagine Shaq and Lou Dort trying to double team Shaq in the mid post.
No, they just gonna have Caruso on the backside. We're gonna Caruso in front, and then Shaq gonna come over, and he's just not gonna get put through the rim.
He was absolutely destroyed them.
Imagine Pascal Siakam in Neesmith trying to double team Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, like all the
but I'm not saying that
the Pacers could cause problems until Shaq touches the ball 3 times in a row on offense, and Miles Turner has 3 fouls.
Exactly,
and then you sub in Thomas Bryant.
Exactly.
But
now your spacer big is irrelevant. Now your spacer big is irrelevant.
What if he's not fouling?
He's just getting demolished.
He's gonna score 16.
What is he doing? Watching? I got it. You know what? I got an even better one for you. Imagine Giannis and Bam trying to double team Shaquille O'Neal.
Still not gonna work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, respect,
they both of them, they getting cooked too.
And the guy's nothing offensively. Not if he's getting in trouble defensively. Okay, he's getting played off the floor. If you have a guy that's giving you,
but who's giving you
Rudy again, fried by Shaq.
Absolutely would. I'm just saying, y'all leave Rudy alone.
There's also a level of player that just physically can't get played off the floor.
Exactly.
Shaq is that level of player. Like we know about Jokic's defense. Jokic can't get played off the floor.
He can.
This is not possible.
You've never seen Jokic get played off the floor. You've never seen Luka Doncic get played off the floor. I'm gonna give y'all another one. I'm the only one that's high on this guy. A lot of you guys hate him. You've never seen Trae Young get played off the floor, and he sucks on defense. Correct? We've never seen Trae Young get played off the floor. If Trae Young can't get played off the floor, I think Hakeem would be good in this era. I think Shaq could be
ain't been in enough important games to get played off the floor.
Hey, ask New York. Ask New York.
Yes, he had.
But all right, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and transition into these super chats. So, salute to everybody that sent through a super chat. We got a few of them, so thank you to everybody. If you haven't liked the video, you know what to do. Shout out to everybody that subscribed up this episode, and shout out to everybody that has became a member. We may get to the things you guys want to talk about. We may not, but let's see about it. The first super chat I got is from Charles Quinton. Charles sent through $20 and said, coaching, in my opinion, plays a huge part with the on and off numbers. A great coach takes advantage of an advantage. Also, fuck field goal percentage. Kobe won 5, not caring about shooting full court shots or being handed grenades. He put that bitch in the basket.
Yeah, this is field goal percentage, not true shooting. This is what I don't understand. Like, why are we not getting the same criticism about field goal percentage than we do true shooting?
I mean, field goal percentage has just been ingrained in basketball history. It was one of the first stats checked. So, like, it's going to have value to a lot of people. I'm not the biggest fan of field goal percentage, but I've been on the side for a while now. I don't think true shooting is the perfect.
No, it's not.
I think it's better than field goal percentage. I like true shooting. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think it's better than field goal percentage in most situations. Not all. Like, I don't care about true shooting in the clutch, respectfully. Like, at that point, I just need you to make shots. I don't care if I don't care about possession. Wins in the clutch. Yeah, like, make sure we're down 1. I don't care if you make a 3 or a 2. Put us up 1. Like, I don't care. Like, at that point, go 1 for 2. I don't care if you'll go, oh, well, I went 1 for 3, but I made a 3. I don't. You waste 2 possessions. I don't care. Go 1 for 2. Like, figure out. But every other situation, I probably care about you shooting.
I like to know how many shots you took and how many shots you missed. All right, field goal percentage. I want to know that. But once again, though, what do you mean why? Because it's just like that's what I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm watching, I want to know. But my thing, what I was saying, Drago, is like I would also like to know that from 3-point range as well, and I would also like to know from free throws. I don't need to put it all together. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with knowing how many 2-point shots, how many 3-point shots, and how many free throws. I can see that in whatever that means to me. And what I'm looking at and the type of player you are is what that means to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to put it all together for true shooting. There's
never been an inefficient 50-40-90 guy, and there never will be.
So this is actually a funny thing. Why is 50-40-90 field goal percentage and not 2-point percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage?
I feel like if you were going to do, I feel like personally, if you were going to do 50-40-90, I would probably. It would be 40% from 3, 90% from the free throw line, and like 55% from 2, maybe 60%. I don't know. But like, yeah, because 50-40-90 inherently taxes high volume 3-point shooters, which I don't agree with. Like, if Steph's shooting 42% from 3, his field goal percentage is going to be 48% solely because he's shooting 12 threes a game. Like, that's just an inherent disadvantage. I don't feel it's why I don't use that as like the gold standard of efficiency. But like, it is what it is. It doesn't make much of a difference to me, but yeah, it's just funny.
Got to be a give and take. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna shoot that many,
that's why it's an exclusive club. If you want to open it up to all this other shit, then it makes it less exclusive. 50-40-90 more exclusive.
No, it should be more exclusive.
If it was 60-40-90, but you had to shoot 60% from 2, I think it would be more exclusive.
Yeah,
because Steph in 2016 only shot 56% from 2. So if you made it 55-40-90, 55% from 2, 40% from 3, 90% from the free throw line, that would still be more exclusive because like Larry Bird
always make it more exclusive, but 50-40-90 is still very exclusive.
50-40-90 is dumb. It's easy to say.
Like Larry Bird.
Why is it dumb?
50-40-90 a bunch of times. He's never shot above 55% from 2. So he would never hit the 55-40-90 club if it was the way that I guess Drago is suggesting, which would make the club more exclusive.
Punishing the people that take.
But I'm saying, like, but I'm still not a lot of people in the club because he said exclusivity. That's why he said
always make it more exclusive. That's not the point.
Yeah. So my point is, if 50-40-90 being better than 55-40-90 because of exclusivity, I don't think that's true. I think if you want to say it's better just because it's better, cool. But saying exclusivity is the reason. I don't agree with that because I think it would be more exclusive if it was 55% from 2, 40% from 3, 90% from the free throw line. And I would make it more exclusive. Now, I'm not saying that would be better because at the end of the day, 2-point efficiency has become much higher in recent years than it was in 1980. So now you're inherently taxing players who played before the 3-point revolution because they didn't shoot a bunch of threes. So their 2-point efficiency was going to be lower. Like, cool. I can agree with all of those things, which is why I think relative efficiency is still going to trump 50, 40, 90, and it's going to trump the new 55, 40, 90. You should always look at efficiency relative to the time in which you played in because that's all that matters. Yeah, a guy from 1982 is not going to be more efficient than a guy in 2026. That's just the way the game works. The game has become more optimized. Everyone understands analytics, threes and layups. Everyone understands that. And then when it's time to talk about someone's efficiency relative to 1982, all of that logic goes out the window and we just forget the fact that they were not shooting optimized shots like they are today. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
I hate relative. I hate it so much.
I'm not surprised. You would strike me as someone who doesn't.
I hate it so much because it should be relative to the game you was playing in. Because if you look at games like those, if you look at those finals games against like Boston and the Lakers, everybody was shooting terribly. It was high defensive leverage games. Everybody shooting terribly. But who was rising in that moment? Who was making shots in those moments? Like that relative shit, like I hate it so much. That would
still be relative.
I'm saying relative to the game. I'm talking about when you encapsulate the whole playoffs and then compare it to that.
But you can do it relative to your opponent, though. But you can do relative to your opponent. Like these numbers exist. I'm just letting you know, like relative to the opponent.
In theories.
Yeah, you can even find relative
number.
Styles make fights. In every other sport, we agree that styles make fights instead of basketball. We try to relative the whole playoff, relative the whole league. That shit does not matter.
So you want the wrong
fights, but you can also find relative to the game percentages. I'm letting you know these numbers exist. Like you're.
But
I'm not gonna say you're yelling at clouds.
Using in general when
I agree. That's not what people are using, but these numbers exist. Like Kobe Bryant, because when you speak about the Celtics Lakers, the 2010 finals, you can use the relative to game numbers. These numbers exist. In the 2010 finals, Kobe had a +2 relative to the game's true shooting over the series. He had a +2, which is fine. Now, if you just ignore relative to the game, so if I do that and ignore relative to the game, his efficiency was -0.6. So you can see the difference, but the numbers you are saying that people should use, they exist. So even the relative numbers that you are asking for do exist. I could send you the link to them if you want. Like these numbers do exist and you can find them. Yeah, so you can find them and you can push whatever agenda you want for Kobe or whoever, because these numbers also exist. That's what I'm saying. Like they exist. They people have had the same thought of you and actually did the work to find the numbers and then do it. Like these exist.
I'm not biased to Kobe. I'm biased to the skill set of Kobe and guys like that who are really, 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 really good at scoring in the half court. Because I think that's what real basketball is played. I know people's like, oh, how do you determine what's real to you or real? I know you're going to say that. But I think half court scoring is where true hoopers play basketball.
And
all that up and down. Okay, that's cool.
And I know for a fact that during the Celtics and the Lakers NBA championships, James Worthy was busting Kevin McHale ass. Yes, he was.
Watch out. Respect Kevin McHale. Respect Kevin McHale, man.
I'm sorry, Ron. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with you.
Can't hear you, Ron.
Can't hear you.
Nasty Ninja sent through $10 and said, Ron, I have a PC event proposal. Real Ninja basketball team is Ox, Ron, and Jordan versus Nerdify the Game, Mars, Swiper, and Pin. Chill and Real Talk are Real Ninja Ball at heart, but they sold out. Damn. Civil War, I want chaos. Damn, y'all sold out?
No,
I don't know how I'm still on the Nerdify the Game.
I don't even
No, stay on that side, Mars. I can't believe y'all sold out.
People gonna put me on whatever team. I don't have to play, but people gonna put me on whatever team they want.
I had strayed away for a little bit, but I'm back.
Nah, it's all good.
No. You became Spreadsheet FC. That's what you did.
No, I didn't become it, but I strayed over there for a little bit.
Since I subscribed to this channel,
I tested out the waters.
Since I subscribed to this channel, I get suggested like old videos from this channel. And Mars, you was deep. You was really
exactly.
Deep
I agree. Really I just don't get how I'm still is what it is. I definitely used to use a lot of used to for sure. It's just we're in 2026, but you know, it's like defensive reputation. Once you get notified as a good defender, you're a good defender forever. So I guess my reputation is my reputation. It doesn't matter what reality is. So you know, salute.
Nah, stay on that side, Mars. And since Chill and Real Talk can't play, which we definitely don't want to play with no sellouts, Drago, we'll take you on the Real Ninja side. Dale, you can go play with the nerds. So we'll see you guys.
Never.
Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team.
Me and
I
Chill,
agree with
we
Ox.
starting
I
our
agree with
own
Ox.
squad anyway.
There you
The
go.
test and everything and all that. I think just like fighter pilots and truck drivers, where you have to have a certain amount of hours per month to keep it up. We need to have everybody who's talked publicly on basketball at least an hour a week pick up. That's it. That's an hour a week. Play a little pickup ball.
We got a log. We got a log for your hours.
That's it.
All right, I got another super chat that just got sent in from Ryan. Ryan said, let me get it on the screen. Ryan said Ron is a weaponized gaslight connector. Swiper, a chaotic tempo stealing disruptor. Penn is a two-way analytical emotional bias architect. Real Talk is an unsafe space reality dealer. Drenchman is a film study waterboarder. You guys like these? These are good archetypes?
I don't know what unsafe space reality dealer. I don't even know what that means.
I think it's accurate.
Basically, it means you sold out. That's basically what it's saying is you're selling out.
I will take it as a shot. It sounds like disrespect.
No, I don't think so. It's just saying you sold out. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm digging it. Ryan, you got to let us know what Chill is. You got to let us know what Damo is. You got to let us know what Mars is. We got to know who those three are.
Amazing.
That much.
And Damien too. We got to know who Damien is.
Australian.
All right, the next super chat I got is from Edu. Edu said, Steph, B-Pods, Braun, Dre, AD, Kristaps, Yaxo, Horford, Santos, and a free agent backup guard. I don't even care about winning anymore. I just want good hoops on my team. And when this roster's healthy, it's going to be good hoops.
That team would limp into the playoffs. But that would be a team where they're going to be a cool little 7 through 10 seed because none of them play at the same time in the regular season. And then they come in and upset the 1 or 2 seed in the first round. And then we see what they do in the playoffs. But that team will not make it through the regular season unscathed. That's one thing I can guarantee. They will not. But good playoff team, though.
I see all the lineup data screenshots. Oh, when they all played 15 minutes plus 230
that 4-man
relative.
lineup has played a combined 87 minutes, but they were a plus 206.
Exactly.
All right, pimp named Slickback sent through $9.99 and said, Real Talk, the way I'm seeing that boy Casey being denigrated on TV is disgusting, bruh. That's why as a guy, you got to put yourself first in dating. Also, shout out to Tierras, the Tierras of the world.
This is Love Island. Okay.
Yeah. One thing for sure, right? We definitely get villainized on these national shows or whatever. It is what it is. They love the swirl action on Love Island. All you gotta do is come on there as a white man, pair up with a black girl, you're gonna win 100K. I mean, the formula's out at this point. They make it KC, out to be the bad guy.
Hey, KC, that's the dark skinned dude.
Yeah,
bro.
Bro.
KC
was wrong. He was wrong with what he did. KC, you know you wrong.
This nigga sincere been lying to everybody since he touched down in the villa, but don't nobody got no smoke with him. It's all KC fault. It's cool, bro. It's whatever.
He got the complexion for the protection. Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk. I was tapped in this weekend. I was watching from afar. No, a little bit.
I'm hip. I'm hip.
I was at a certain person's house, and that was playing in the background. So I caught whiff of it. When they got the creaming each other and all of that. Shout out Megan Thee Stallion too. They creamed each other on the show.
Shout out to bruh. That's why you watch the show. You see what I'm saying? Bruh, she came in there, boy, jiggling. She came in there jiggling.
Hey, real talk, right? The first scene when she started walking in, all you see was boo, 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 boo. Hey, I said, I know who that is. I know exactly who that is.
Yeah.
Hey, before they even put her face on the screen, I said, oh, that's Meg Thee Stallion.
Exactly.
Hey, and all I heard is, how do you know? It's just like, hey, I just know I know ball. That's it.
Man. It's a lot of gigawatts on that one. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Meg.
All right, the next super chat I got is from my man Dre Knows Ball. Dre said, "How does the panel view LeBron joining Steph Curry and AD? Should we shame them, or is it okay because they are old? Seeing Bron in a Warriors jersey just seems so nasty to me. After all the battles,
I think it'll be funny.
You're off the GOAT train if he does that, right? I heard you say that.
He can't go to the
Warriors.
Yeah,
Chill did say that. Yeah, Chill did say that.
What
he said if Bron joins the Warriors, he's out. Yeah, that's what he said.
He's no longer the GOAT.
I'm retracting that statement.
You got to take what
it
takes 5 teams.
Now
it takes 5 teams for you to change that.
Chill said that shit thinking it was never gonna happen.
Ain't no way he getting on the Warriors. No way that's happening. No.
Oh man, that's what they're gonna say though. I mean,
how many teams
the guy who's 3-1 against you in the finals?
It's been like 5 team changes, right? Now you want to switch.
So Miami and Cleveland, that's 2, and the Lakers. That's it.
No changes.
The Cavs in 2015 are not the same team as the Cavs in 03. He's going 2 different teams.
Those are still the same organization. So it's still
ran by different people.
Still Cleveland.
Stop it.
Yeah, still
y'all
Cleveland.
Brun fans.
If I play for the Lakers and the Clippers, I'm still in LA.
No, those are 2 different teams.
No, why not?
Different organizations.
Same building. Same building.
2 different organizations. That's not the same.
I played in the same arena in the same city. What are you talking about? It's the same thing.
Only except you do not get paid by the Los Angeles Lakers. You get paid by the Clippers. It's not the same thing. He got paid by the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Different person cutting my checks, just like it was for LeBron the second
which means
time.
that you work for a different organization.
Yeah, exactly. And Bron had a different person cutting his checks in 2015 than he did in 03. Different person cutting his checks.
Was he paid by the
different team?
Was he paid by the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Different teams.
Troll alert.
Woo,
woo, woo. Troll alert.
No, you
don't get to just go back. You don't get to just go back
here.
to the team and be like, I ain't paid.
You didn't go back to Booby Gibson and Nagauskis. Stop it.
Yeah, he played for that's 2 different teams. He played for 2 different teams.
Do you guys remember when Mars complained about Chill taking unnecessary long conversations, so we went overtime? He just did this.
Yeah, but today I have time, so I don't know.
Hey, yeah, I'm all here for LeBron going to Golden State. I'm in favor of this. Bron, do what you got to do to get up there. Warriors trade for AD. Yeah, we need this in 2026. We need this. Come on, we've been waiting for this. All right, pimp named Slickback sent through $9.99 and said next year is 60 years since the ABA was formed. For those of you who know, the ABA has a huge imprint on the NBA history, especially allowing Black players to integrate our culture and style of hoops into the game.
Correct. The ABA was around for I think 11 years, and I think over 200 and I think 77 players overall played in the ABA that ended up playing in the NBA. So yes, it was an integral part of what the NBA is today. Huge.
Mars,
shout out to the ABA, man.
It's so obvious that you don't like Chill, and it's getting very weird, obvious, bro.
Yeah, facts.
It's getting weird.
It is kind of corny, isn't it? Real talk. Yeah, it is kind of corny, right?
It is.
Yeah. Someone said I was bullying Chill the other day because I disagreed with him calling Caleb Wilson an A pick when he said Caleb Wilson would be the best player in the draft. And that was me apparently bullying Chill. So, salute. And I think everyone could tell right there that I was not being serious. But no, obviously I was bullying Chill. So, Chill, I apologize for bullying you despite being 30 years older than me. I apologize.
Age has nothing to do with that, by the way. Ages.
No, facts. Chill's a foot taller than me, 30 years older than me. I'm just gonna bully him.
Yeah, but over the screen, that doesn't matter.
Nah, yeah, fact. That's why I do it. That's why I do it behind the screen.
Mars does not bully.
No, I'm a bully. Yeah.
Now your heightus as well. Because what does him being 6'4" have to do anything?
I mean, Chill's fat phobic, so.
Anyway, Ron, as you were saying, no, I'm not.
Shout out to Evan Stice. Evan Stice became a YouTube member. Salute to you. I got another $9.99 super chat from Maradi Tanzambi. Maradi said, "Good morning, guys. Is it true Kobe Bryant met his wife when he was 21 and she was 15 or 16? Also, shout out to my Congo teams for making the round of 32. Mars, we coming for you."
Actually, she was 17 when he first started hanging around her. And so what? What's
in
the big deal?
1999.
Yeah. What's the big deal? Ain't no big deal. Just so we clear, Mars. My senior year in high school, I turned 18.
Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Just so we know, Ron, my girlfriend was 16 before she turned 17, and I was already 18. She was a year behind me.
18 to 16 and 21 to 17 are different. But
Tupac Westside 474 $2 super chat. She was 17, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of random.
That's correct.
We go to the next one. Where the next one at, Ron?
That's correct.
All right.
You elaborated, Chip.
The next super chat I got is $9.99 from B True 23. B True said, "Don't know if anybody's watching Chicago, but Camila Cardoso has been on a tear. Shane Rakia got hurt, man. Really threw their season off the rails, but I love what I'm seeing from Camila.
Turning into a baller.
She is starting to hoop. About time.
She went, what, 13 for 13 the other day? And I don't remember exactly how many points she had, but she went 13 for 13. I think she had like 32.
What was our true shooting?
That I don't know.
One of y'all go look and let me know. I don't want to say. We both trying to figure out. But shout out Camila though. I watched her when they played the Storm the other day. She
for me, with her, it's all about just her effort and energy level on the game-to-game basis. Really, it can kind of sway. Sometimes she'll be out there looking like she don't really give too much of a damn, and then sometimes when she want to hoop, she be hooping. The talent is there for sure.
All right. Shout out to Universal 1751 for becoming a YouTube member. Shout out to Jaden 3222 for also becoming a YouTube member. Appreciate y'all for joining up. If you're not a member yet, there's no better time than now to become a member. Support your favorite basketball channel on YouTube. The next super chat I got is from Fizzy TK, sent through $5 and said, Jaylen Brown is showing people the truth about analytics. MF shit on the box score, but praise numbers from some random formula. Get the fuck out of here. We don't care anymore.
I hate how everything just went with analytics says this, and no one could point to the analytics that said such things. David West was very active in Twitter. It's actually ironic because what the analytics maybe tell us, or the advancement of the game told us, is David West is no longer allowed to take mid-range shots, but Jaylen Brown is. So that's just
David West pick and pop 18 footers, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Miles, Camilla, she had a 96 true shooting that night. She went 13 for 13, by the way.
Damn, she missing free throws, couldn't even get 100. Damn, she sucks.
Yeah, she had a 96 true shooting.
Nah, I don't know. Jaylen Brown's funny to me because my eye test tells me he's not as good as you guys say. So it is what it is. I've just never agreed with you guys when it comes to Jaylen Brown. I don't think I ever will, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I support Jaylen Brown, but I'm in that boat. The messenger, you ain't what you saying you are, brother.
I'll just be like, I don't understand how you guys can watch Jaylen Brown and not see how dope.
I'm not saying
he's a good player.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying, like,
I just don't see the level of play. Anytime you guys have tried to convince me him and Jason Tatum are comparable, I've just never seen it. Like in my Merry Christmas, Joe. I've just never seen it. Anytime you guys have tried to tell me Jaylen Brown is a top 10 player on the planet, I've just never seen it. But you guys see what you see. It is what it is. We just don't agree. That's what I've kind of given up on Jaylen Brown conversations at this point. I just don't see what you guys see.
Me too, though. From the other end, I'm just like, it just kind of is what it is. But Jaylen Brown is really one of the most polarizing players in the league right now, simply because of that. Like, he literally has the biggest divide. I was in the Hall of Fame group chat again. Jason Grills typed in the chat and he said Jaylen Brown is becoming the most overrated player in the NBA. My reply was no. Or not Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown is becoming the most overrated player in the NBA. My reply was no. Jaylen Brown becoming the most underrated player in the NBA. Because it's such a big divide. It's either you got guys like Penn and Swiper who actually like really don't think Jaylen Brown's all that good. And you got guys like me and Ox who think Jaylen Brown is like knocking on that top 5 in the league, conversation. So it's crazy to divide with it.
The reasonable ones who rank him correctly.
Real Talk swears he's the reasonable one in every conversation.
No, not everyone, but the Jaylen Brown one for
you
sure.
You guys too high. You guys too low.
The Jaylen Brown one.
Do you not
for
see
sure.
the name? It's real talk. It's real talk. Do you not see?
No,
but the Jaylen Brown one for sure. Because some of y'all are way too long on Jaylen Brown. I ain't gonna lie. It's a little.
I'm not that low.
You're still just too high. That's the problem. You are meet Penn here. Exactly.
You couldn't be.
You got him top 10. Real talk.
No. See, that's where Ron and that's where they.
I just wanted
right. So, but some people try to act like he's not like a top 25 player or something like that.
Oh, he easily top. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't have a top 25 list. I'm fairly sure he'd be somewhere near there. So
he's all right. He's like 15 to 20.
15? Yeah, you lost me.
I said his range 15 to 20.
Yeah, 15. I don't know. You lost me. Actually, no, the league kind of sucks. He might be. To be fair.
Okay.
He's in that range. He's definitely in that range.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell in that range. So I mean, should be. Yeah, he might be.
All right, Clips fan 1221 said, "Let's get this trade done. Kawhi for Brandon Ingram, Jacoby Walter, and 2 first-round picks."
I mean, I would do that from the Raptors.
For sure, I would do that.
Yeah.
Kawhi for Brandon Ingram, man. Hey, man. We getting to this point with the league. Shout out.
Health concern.
That's true, but somebody else gonna take this health concern for more than that.
Oh, for sure. Just like they could have got more than Nas Reed, but sometimes, that's the reason why you throw an ain't shit deal out there at first. Sometimes it be a dumbass.
They might just accept that.
Exactly.
Throw that out there real quick.
All right, JK Third said, "I think what rubs players and others like me the wrong way is the condescending tones most of these analytic guys talk about grown professional men."
It is very pretentious. I'm better than you. I know more than you attitude, which ironic coming from me because I'm very pretentious and think I know better than everyone. But I can still understand that term. I also think from the people who also play, you also hear that level of condescension towards people who didn't. Like, I think it does go both ways. I think one is obviously, I think it's more valid to be condescending to people who've never been through it than it does to say, I read a spreadsheet, I know better than you. Personally.
Exactly.
But
it's like, I understand
it's still condescending on both ends, but I do think one at least has more validity to it.
It's like, I understand your experience and everything you've been through, but let me tell you what really happened. It's like what?
All right, the Bobby Fiasco became a YouTube member. Shout out to Bobby. And one of one, J Bo, also joined up as a YouTube member. Salute to both of you guys. Appreciate you for joining the family. Bradley Beaumont sent through $5 and said, "Shout out to Bobby Marks. Had the best scouts in Brooklyn and had the best analytic guy at ESPN."
Nice.
Salute.
He's one of the guys that took that bullshit deal that y'all was talking about.
I don't know.
Yeah, and he just said Jaylen Brown was like top 10.
He was I think didn't the Celtics finesse him when he was with Brooklyn?
Yeah, he was, but that was also an owner thing, I think.
Oh, okay. But yeah, he got finessed.
Yeah. He's actually one of the best cap guys you can see out there. He's really good with like the cap and the rules about how to manipulate it.
All right, shout out to Two Clutch Corey. Appreciate you for joining up as a member too. Trey Rain sent through $4.99 and said, "What's the floor and ceiling for the Has this season?" I think they'll finish the sixth seed at least. I don't know.
You can even give
Cavs. He meant to say Cavs.
Hawks,
Hawks, maybe Hawks.
We're gonna go with the Hawks.
Yeah.
I don't think the Hawks will be at least the 6th seed though.
Maybe hiding the Hawks.
Heat?
Hell no. How do you get Has from Heat?
Hey, the ball over there on some trees or something.
Warriors. You guys just shit.
Trey Rain, send in another one and then
God damn.
Another one.
Hey, the one word that you couldn't botch in that super chat, you did, Trey.
Exactly.
It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. But we appreciate you, though. We appreciate you.
Gotta be, yeah, it's gotta be.
MP13 became a YouTube member. Shout out to MP13. Shout out to Ty Harvey for joining up as a YouTube member. And also shout out to Cam Smooth. Appreciate all three of y'all for joining the family. If any of you guys are all-stars, we would love to have you guys up on our Hall of Fame stream or our members only stream that we do on Thursdays and we do on Sundays. Hey, y'all, my bad. We were supposed to do a stream yesterday. My birthday was Saturday. And I'm going to just put it like this. I ain't get out of bed on Sunday until like 6 o'clock. So longer than that. It was like 7 or 8. And the stream started at 6. I woke up, it was like 7:40, and that's just what it was, y'all. So my apologies. It was a long day or a long night Saturday.
Happy belated. Nigga.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's why you was you had got a little birthday money, so that you was able to. Okay, I see how you did that.
You know, I charged to come to my birthday party because I had to pay off some debts. You know, so that's how I ended up getting back on my feet. Cedric Jackson sent through $5 and said, one analytic should not stand alone in sports. It needs support of other numbers or explained by a knowledgeable human being.
I agree, but there's like real spreadsheet FC members who will tell you they don't need to watch the sport because they have the numbers. Like those people just blow my mind, but to each their own, man.
Shout out to him. I got another $5 from It's Zamzay. Zamzay said, Chill feeds into people saying you don't like stats, you don't understand. Chill gave an example of a bad true shooting percentage game and said true shooting would make it good.
Yeah,
it is.
Because the game he outlined is like 46% true shooting. Yeah. So
9 for 30 is probably going to be bad no matter what.
Unless it's all threes. If you go 9 for 30, all threes, and then make like 12 free throws, you got 27. You got a chance.
I mean,
yeah,
but
you're right. My bad.
You know, that game doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the game doesn't exist. 9 for 30.
Shit, Sam Hauser had one of those games. No, Sam Hauser went like 11 for like 28 or something. Right? That's close.
Didn't you?
I might be tripping. I swear he did that. Sam Hauser went and shot like 1,000,000 threes against like the Wizards or some shit. But I might be tripping.
All right, tip-offs and kickoffs sent through $5 and said, real talk, put the panel on with Love Island. Or is he saying real talk, put the panel on with Love Island? Or is he saying real talk?
He's saying that he put the panel on. Yeah, Sam Hauser never shot 28 threes. I made that shit. He went 10 for 21.
But yeah, Peacock. Hey, hit us up. Hit us up, Peacock. We doing
real talk.
At this point.
You definitely gave the meta. Just scroll up. You win the money. That's definitely the meta.
Come on, man. That's what they do now. That's what America like. Yeah.
Spanish Jose TV sent through $4.99 and said the number one overall pick in 2014. When you zoom out at his career, is Wiggins a bust? Hey, what if or just mid?
Mid.
He was just a good NBA player.
I was gonna say, I think he
just wasn't.
He's not what people expected, but I can't call you a bust if you weren't a bad player, personally.
And who's better than him in that draft?
Embiid, Jokic.
Oh, Jokic! I forgot Jokic was in there.
Embiid was a number. Embiid would have gone number one if it weren't for the injury concerns, from what I know of that draft. But Wiggins had a good career. I don't think he was great in Minnesota. I think it was a lot of nonsense, but he's still been a good player. I can't call you a bust when you've been a good player. I can't.
He's still getting $30 million contract, so he's still good.
He cool.
Aaron Gordon was better. Marcus Smart probably better. Julius Randle probably better. Zach LaVine.
I don't think
Aaron Gordon. TJ Warren.
Zach LaVine.
One game.
Shout out to TJ Warren.
I don't think Aaron Gordon is better.
I think Aaron Gordon clears.
Not me.
When was Andrew Wiggins better than like not last year, but like the year before Aaron Gordon.
I'm talking about overall career.
Maybe.
They're relatively similar to me. Like
it's a mid off, so I'm not gonna get into it.
I don't even think it's a mid off though. It's like
one was an all-star. Put some respect. One was an all-star.
They're both valuable role players.
An all-star.
I think
he was all-star, and he was in the
respect. Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins made an all-star team in the West on the Warriors. What are you talking about? Exactly.
I thought you were talking about Aaron Gordon.
Oh no, Aaron Gordon ain't sniffing an all-star team.
I thought he made an all-star. He didn't make one.
I don't think. I don't think so.
No, okay.
He did some dunk contests, so he was out all-star weekend.
Facts.
Yeah. All right, shout out to Yak Man. Yak Man sent through $5 and just booed you guys. So shout out to Yak Man. Appreciate it.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, these niggas need to get booed from time to time, Yak Man. Appreciate you for doing your job. Slat sent through $5 and said, Ox condemning gambling and watching parlays, but do ads for said gambling. Go to Splash Sports, face ass.
That's not gambling.
Yeah, Splash Sports is not gambling. Just to be clear, it's not gambling. So thank you.
Exactly. Cut.
Shout out to Charles Quinton. Charles Quinton became a YouTube member. Salute to you. Also, shout out to Fred S3Y7T. Salute to you, S3Y7T. Thanks for joining up. LFT or LFC 226 sent through $4.99 and said, "Is Draymond leaving or is he just taking less money?"
I just assume he's taking less money to make the room available for AD and Bron or whatever the rumors are. Yeah.
Super team.
Draymond might be the biggest LeBron, like bigger than Chill, bigger than everybody.
Draymond gonna see Bron and Steph wide open and throw that shit to Bron. It's gonna be
as he should. Show it to the goal.
Facts.
Throw it to the goal.
You're gonna start saying the hardest screens you can to get Bron open.
As he should.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like y'all, the people on the internet, they speak up for LeBron, but Draymond, he taking less money. Millions.
I mean, shit, the people on the internet will go broke.
Hey, not getting your ducks because for the possibility, just the possibility is crazy.
How much did he turn down?
He never intended on signing with the Warriors. It was a player option, what, 27 mil, I think.
I was shocked. I was shocked that Draymond turned that down. But
Draymond gonna go out there and get a max on the open market. You better watch out.
Please. Oh man.
All right, we got $4.99 from Ryan. Ryan said, PC archetypes. Chill is an aged, relentless debate pressure machine. Big Ox, unhinged, intimidating enforcer, and Mars is a sharpshooting analysis sniper.
That's how I only got positives. Come on.
Yeah,
Glaze.
I like him. I
mean, I'm just glazable. I don't know what to tell you.
He's your Draymond. You sent the money to do that. You sent money to do that. He spent money to do that.
Zencia or Zensaya. I'll go Zensaya. Zensaya sent through $5 and said, "What position do you guys think is the hardest to hide a player's flaws? And can you name a player example?"
Center, because you can't play a taller player next to them. Jokic is an example. It's harder to find rim protection around Jokic because he plays center. The other example would maybe be a wing who can't shoot because they generally doesn't have the ball as much as point guard, and they're not big enough to be a center or a power forward who can do other things like rebound and crash as hard as they can.
Oh yeah, a center who can't defend is pretty hard to hide. And a point guard or primary ball handler who can't see the floor is also quite hard to hide. Those would probably be the two.
But you can play them at the two.
Y'all were running around telling us that was
that's why I have to say primary ball handler.
Hands down in the league for 3 years. And now this is the hardest nigga to hide on the court.
I think that was
I still don't think Jokic a few years back was as bad defensively as you were saying. But
that's what I think the NBA is why the NBA is getting worse, because I think every position is just you're a small forward, but how tall are you? It's like small forward, 7 footer, small forward, 6'1", small forward, 6'2". It's like everybody's trying to be a small forward at different heights. It's like, bro, we need certain things from certain positions. We don't need every position trying to do everything. The small forward used to be the position that, oh, he can do this, he can do that, he can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Utility guy.
The utility guy. But now every single player has to be a creator, a shooter, a spacer, a lob. Got to be able to pass, got to be able to run a pick and roll. It's like, bro, no. I need my center to guard the rim and rebound. And I need my point guard to be able to control turnovers and run my offense.
Yeah, there are definitely certain skills that go to certain positions. Protecting the rim, center being one of them. Absolutely. That's never going to change because, well, unless the center all of a sudden stops being consistently the tallest guy on the court. Again, this is math, science, physics, basically. Hey, largest person on court.
Yes.
Put your hands up and guard said rim behind you, because you're also going to most likely going to be the closest player to the basket as well. It's kind of how the sport works, you know. So
make positions great
down there. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is like entirely the doing of Bron and KD in terms of what small forwards can do, and teams trying to replicate that.
I mean, Tracy McGrady was 6'9", right?
He was, but you know, winning solves everything. So when you win with a small forward, you can do it. I mean, Kobe and Mike to a certain extent as well in terms of like the guards who could do everything, but it was KD and you got KD, you got Bron bringing the ball up, initiating, shooting from everywhere. It's like, yeah, I guess. And now you got teams drafting Nate Ament at 13, but you know,
should have drafted him at 5.
Yeah, but we Nate Ament FC now, so we locked up. Yeah.
I take no Kobe slander. Sent through $4.99 and said, "Hear me out. Just hear me out. The perfect fit for the Lakers is one of them Thompson twins. The one on the Pistons, if this year don't work, I'll trade Reeves for him."
You can trade what you want. They're not giving you Asar Thompson.
They're definitely not.
You just think, oh yeah, it's just my decision. I'll trade Austin Reeves. Like, they're not going to give you Asar unless you give him Luka. I mean,
is Asar better than Reeves?
I was gonna say that looked like an even Steven trade to me.
No.
It just depends what you value. It depends what you value. Like Austin would be good next to Cade, and I do think Asar would obviously be good next to Luka and doing the things that he does. It just, once again, it depends what they value. I don't know if they would do that as a one-on-one swap, but both players help both teams.
Why do you think it's not even?
But hold on, Morris.
That defense that is like, oh yeah, just give them another creator is in large part because of Asar.
No, 100%.
You don't have that same defense.
But let's say this though. Let's say Ron Hollins is able to be a somewhat competent offensive player, and he starts playing now. And let's say he jumps into a version of himself where he starts to actualize who he could be. And let's also say Jalen Duren takes another step forward on the defensive end.
So then
our defense gets better.
Yeah, we're making up a scenario.
Well, I know that. Yeah, I'm saying though, if that's the case,
in that scenario,
you can't call hypotheticals.
Yeah, in that scenario, maybe.
Real talk, would you do that?
High on Ron Hollins
for the Lakers?
Would I trade Reeves for a Min Thompson, but not a Asar Thompson?
Okay.
Now he hating on Asar's offensive game just to be not being maximized.
Get us
in that short roll. Get us in that short roll with Luka. Yeah, it's gonna look different. Put shooters around us. Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's that.
All right, y'all. We got a few more members chats. If you haven't liked the video yet, go ahead and slap that like button. Join up as a member and subscribe. That's the easiest thing to do, is just hit that subscription button. Salute to you. The next members chat that I got is from Military Man. Military Man said, if the Raptors get Kawhi, OMG. Scotty Barnes and Kawhi in the playoffs. Don't forget the corresponding moves after as well. What up, Chill?
I still think you guys need a point guard, unless Scotty Barnes is your full-time point guard.
Barnes is just going to do it. Yeah,
that has its drawbacks in my opinion. But I would still like another point guard, unless Jamal Shadd. Then you need a big. That would be the next thing.
I think that's more important than anything. Going to find a center.
badly. I don't know who that center is, but they need one. Maybe it's DeAndre Ayton.
What?
Yeah, come get him.
Come get him. What if they was to sign Robert Williams? Hypothetically speaking, trade for Kawhi, sign Robert Williams.
I don't think. I mean, Robert Williams isn't. I don't think Robert Williams can play a full season as your primary big. Robert Williams is Jonathan Isaac of centers. 15 minutes a game.
Yeah, damn.
DeAndre Ayton opting into the $8 million. He knew he wasn't getting that anywhere else. That's crazy.
Yeah, this might be his last contract.
Number one.
Although you might get the good Ayton because he knows that this is his last. This is.
Yeah.
Again, you might get the good
double or nothing. Double or nothing.
And then when Ayton's hooping next year, Roto gonna be up here like Ayton's taking the lead. Oh my God, Ayton's taking. We gotta resign him. We gotta resign him. Ayton signs a 3-year.
I promise you, I won't be up here.
Yeah, Ayton signs a 3-year, 4-year, and then he sucks again, and then Roto gonna be like, why didn't we pay him?
A leap in year 9 is insane.
Yeah, a leap, please.
Respect Steve Nash year 9.
I mean, Steve Nash.
No, it wasn't a leap. The shit was fake. That's what that was. I keep trying to tell y'all. Go over there to a nigga was third team All NBA caliber player. 1 year, following year at age big 30, gets on another team. Now he's the MVP.
Now he mad that we hit our stride late.
I kind of agree with you on that. Real talk. I'm not gonna lie, but.
I mean, of course you do. Haters.
Why'd you mean? Of course I do.
I mean, when you said half court scoring the most important thing, I was like, yeah, he hates Steve Nash. Like, it was like, okay, yeah, it is what it is.
Steve Nash was going half court though.
Yeah, but the guy who was thriving in pushing pace and transition opportunities is like, yeah,
he was a transition merchant though.
Yeah,
to an extent.
To an extent.
Yeah,
but yeah,
but he's better than like Magic in the half court.
I know one person he's not better than.
And in transition.
Who?
Don't say Brunson. He's gonna say
yeah.
Brunson.
Speaking of Jaylen Brunson, Elias Productions sent through a super chat and said, if you put prime Derrick Rose on the Knicks, are they still winning a chip?
Probably not.
I don't think so. Kind of, and really similar to what Delsky was saying. Just that the ability to score in the half court.
I'm gonna lie.
Derrick Rose ain't as good as Jaylen Brunson. When the game slows down,
finals.
That rim pressure.
They probably get to the finals. Yeah,
I'd be interested to see Derrick Rose against the Spurs though.
He's not a good enough jump shooter though to overcome like Jaylen Brunson was.
Yeah, I mean Jaylen Brunson stunk it up and they were up 2-0.
No, as the series went though, but as it went,
but that just means they might not win in 5. They could still win in 6 or 7.
Or they might just do it a different way. Or they might just do it a different.
Yeah, they might just. It might just look different. That's why I don't. That's why I don't do most of these.
Derrick Rose with that much spacing and shooters, rim pressure. Come on, man.
Yeah, but
they're also
you literally can't stay in front of him.
You can't.
I don't know.
And then we got Cat popping out.
Well, actually,
OG doesn't.
You can.
It would just be different.
We've seen. Wait. We've seen prime Derrick Rose get stayed in front of. So I don't know what we're talking about.
By LeBron for 2 minutes.
I'm saying Stephon Castle's going to be religiously going under everything. It's not I'm playing up tight on Derrick Rose. He's going to blow by me. Duh, you're not going to play up tight. You're going to dare him to make jumpers. You're going to basically
until we have Derrick Rose playing away from the ball. They should get wonky, but no. Then he coming off handoffs with Cat popping out for threes. You having to play review pursuit with Derrick Rose. We'll see.
Man,
I don't think
one thing this generation does, bro, they gonna disrespect you if you can't shoot, bro. They do that more regularly now than what are you.
Derrick Rose can make mid-range jumpers and he can make floaters.
Yeah,
does that?
Cool. They're definitely gonna live with him and shoot him.
Yeah, they want him to shoot jumpers for sure. They wanted Jaylen Brunson to beat them in isolation. You want things to happen. Doesn't mean it's won't work.
Yeah, but Jaylen Brunson again, better shot maker. So that's the difference.
Derrick Rose shot 41% on his middies. It's not bad.
Good for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no with all due respect to D Rose. Tip-offs and kickoffs said, how do y'all feel about the Warriors getting LeBron and AD?
I think that's good for the Warriors.
Hey,
They ain't winning shit, bro.
Bron and MJ, we're gonna have to rehab the GOAT discussion. Bron gonna have this many. Hey, Steph and Magic. We gotta,
He's gonna play
He's just
2
gonna
more
get
years?
2 championships.
Yeah. They're gonna go back to back.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Gifted gonna have to recant his Embiid over AD statement if AD join the Warriors. Because no way he gonna be preying on AD's downfall while he's on his team. So that's gonna be fun.
I already told him that day. I said, you saying this, you're gonna regret it because Anthony Davis is gonna be on your team. And that's what's gonna happen. I don't know if Bron's gonna end up over there, but I'm fairly confident if AD ends up going somewhere, the Warriors are high up on that list. They're desperate
Draymond
enough.
and Anthony Davis as your defensive uncle?
Yeah.
I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
When they're both locked in, yeah, that's gonna be a tough team.
I wonder what they're gonna do on offense though.
AD face-ups. Yeah, AD face-ups. Gonna be fun.
They're gonna need another like knockdown shooter, like catch and shoot.
We got Yaxel Lenderborg. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
And B-Pod's in the lab right now, currently as we speak.
B-Pods. Yes, sir.
Exactly. B-Pod's is the next step. Better lock in.
Yes.
All right, Ridge-Matic sent through a members chat and said, Dub Oxen. But I need that update on the Big Buffalo. Shout out to Big Buffalo, man. Big Buffalo, we need you on the pod soon. You know who you are. Pull up, Big Buffalo.
I don't know who that is.
Oxen brother.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Big Buffalo.
Yeah.
Toon JD said, Dub PC, thanks for the entertainment. Always A+.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we have bad days.
No, we Caleb Wilson. A+, man.
Oh no, that's an A actually.
Oh,
despite
yeah,
being the best in the class.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
Same OG said net rating need to be used for bench guys over starters.
I think net rating has its place for everyone.
Shout out net rating. Drink More Water sent through a members chat. Shout out Drink More Water. He's been a member for 40 months. That's GOAT shit. That's GOAT shit. Drink More Water. Drink said, I don't exactly remember the convo, but y'all were talking about athletic wing duos like Brown and Tatum some episodes ago. I want to throw a short-lived but very entertaining duo in Giannis and Jabari Parker.
No, you don't get to reminisce about the Giannis days. It's over. You don't get to reminisce. It's not allowed.
I thought Jabari
in Miami now.
Oh yeah, he is a Bucks fan.
You don't get to reminisce. No, how dare you? Forget about Giannis. He's not on your team no more. You don't get to remember the good old days. Look forward to the Nate Ament, Ryan Rollins hoops. That's what you will get. Look forward to
man,
that.
you got Ryan Rollins and Khalil Ware. That's gonna be one of the best pick and roll duos in the league. You know what I'm saying? What else over there?
Braden Burries and Miles Turner. Yep.
Facts. Come on now.
That's gonna be an interesting team, man.
You still paying Dame. Good shit. You know, shout out to you. So you're gonna have the ghost of Dame out there on your
my dog KPJ still over there too.
Kevin Porter Jr. Facts.
Hey, I really don't think that team is just terrible.
Torian Prince coming back now? Torian Prince coming back?
Yeah.
Is Darvin Ham still coaching over there?
I was gonna say, is Darvin Ham still there?
I don't know if Kenny Jenkins has his own on this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, Kyle Kuzma. How could we forget Kyle Kuzma? Yeah.
Oh yeah, the guy that can go 1 through 5 at 6'9".
Yeah, Kyle Kuzma shooting nearly 50% from the field. Yeah, come on, man.
Stop playing, man.
That's how you sell yourself. I'm not gonna lie. Good job, Kuz.
Hey, somebody got to self-promote.
Hey man,
I ain't doing it for him. Seen him put a tweet talking about, "Hey, Kuz fans, this off season going well." I know Kuz, man. But you know, soon.
All right, last but not least, I got a member chat from my man Dookie Baylocks. Dookie B, he's also been a member for 30 months. Shout out to my man Dookie. Dookie said, Dub Jaylen Brown, L Basketball, Dub Anissa Morrow.
Nice.
I agree with all three actually. And them emojis.
Yeah, Dub Jaylen Brown. Yeah. In her little 6-pack. There she always flying.
That girl got a strong ass 6-pack, boy.
A strong stomach.
All right, fellas, it has been fun. It has been real as always. Y'all like the video on the way out. We'll be back tomorrow morning to talk about all the things you guys want to talk about. Tomorrow's episode will be fire, but today's episode was fire as well. Delsky, appreciate you for pulling up. Mars, Real Talk. Catch y'all on the flip side. We out.
Merry Christmas.
Peace.